Welcome everyone to the fourth episode of Cast in the Shadows, and this month it's a Star Citizen special. So, we're covering the Invictus launch week, which is also the Invictus Free Fly event. It started May 22nd and ends Monday, right? June 1st?
Well, the event itself ends the 1st. However, the free fly will end June 2nd. So they extended that due to technical issues starting out.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, let's should we go right into the event, or should we cover 3.9 first, because we didn't really get to do that last month because at the time we recorded the game was pretty much unplayable.
We could do a general overview of 3, not go too deep into it, but
okay, so let me pull up the notes, because we did actually get to play a lot of 3.9, like the night after record, like literally the night of recording. Data and I played for like 3 hours straight. I recorded all of it, so you can view it on the on my channel later. But yeah, they actually got working survival mechanics and the prowlers and they just added this blue now with the free fly. I have screenshots of all of that, so nope. Here's stuff from the free fly. Sorry about this.
Yeah,
Here, so they added, like, you know, your armor will get covered in dust and stuff if your environment, your HUD gets covered in ice. You know, you can do prisms now and all that. So, all right. Let's just jump in. Yeah. What?
I was gonna say, last time none of us had. Have you guys tried have you guys been in prison or no?
Yeah.
We have, unfortunately.
Yeah. And how was it? Like,
It was a very short experience, wasn't it?
It's an interesting experience. I will say, at least at this point, it seems like there are some bugs that seem to only affect the prison mining, where that, like, if I go and find a rock and I go and pull up my mining tool and I'm able to go and mine it, there are times where your mining tool will just go whoop right out of your hand, sitting on the ground, and you're pretty much unable to mine past that first rock.
Unless you've holstered your mining tool before you do that. Like, for example, holster the mining tool, then pick up the rock. It will still do that. You'll still drop the mining tool, but it'll still also be on your side at the same time, so you can still go forward to activate it again. And so it's a really annoying glitch that if you don't know to holster it and you can still use it that way, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I actually got stuck in, not that time, Merc, but a second time I went to prison and was actually unable to mine due to that glitch affecting me. And so I tried to break out. The game crashed. I relaunched the game. It let me choose my spawn location while still having the crime stat, but then I was able to just go and remove my crime stat through hacking a security post.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, I've been in prison twice as well. Once was with Cam. We were there for less than half an hour. And the other time was I was chasing a bounty. And apparently the bunkers on Hurston from those old bunker missions. So if you go near them, even on foot, they're trespassing. So you're
even on foot?
Even
I
on
thought
foot.
it was if you're...
No,
okay.
So I got a crime stat for trespassing in order to hunt down this target. And I did it again when I went down there and gave me another crime stat. So if you leave and then come back, it'll give you another crime stat and you get 2. And then at some point, some schmuck in a buccaneer came down for no reason and started shooting at me. He wasn't the target or anything. I didn't. It's the first time I met this player. He just came down and started shooting me, killed me, and then I woke up in prison.
Huh.
So I got a crime. I went to prison for trying to hunt down a target. You know.
He was probably hunting down the same target and just got lucky with you.
I guess. I don't think I had a bounty yet, but because I still had the bounty missions available for some reason. So, but yeah, that was fun. They need to tweak the whole trespassing things.
Yeah.
Or at least like you make an exception with bounty hunting and all that. But first implementation so far, it's not bad.
But speaking of that, I think with the new Insider, it'll be really good for bounty hunting, like what's coming out.
Yes, with stun weapons, finally.
Well, when I watch the video there, I'll note what they were saying is that these are not stun weapons. These electro weapons are not actually stun weapons. They do have stun damage, disruptor damage, and energy damage, but strictly speaking, these weapons are still meant to kill. They are not meant to incapacitate. For the sounds of it, there will be down the line stun weapons, like weapons that primarily do stun damage. They were talking, I think, like stun batons and the like, and they were talking, down the line. It'd be useful for bounty hunters, but at this point, these ones that are coming out soon, these seem to be mostly just they're weapons to kill. Just another type there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it also depends on how many people there. Will it do? I didn't see. Did they say will it do like lower damage if you're farther away? Like, say you shoot me and then you're next to me, or Merc is next to me. Will he take less damage from it, or?
Well, the way it works though is that if let's say if there's you and you're say 20 feet away from me, so let's say again I've got like the pistol, the sniper rifle, either one, and so you're 20 feet away and your buddy's 30 feet away, and I shoot you and then I shoot your buddy. You're both going to take the same amount of damage. The only time where the damage will fluctuate like that is if, let's say, because they did say that the damage will be able to arc.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What I meant. Like if it arcs between a target, will it be reduced? And if so, how much?
So if I shoot a guy standing next to you, you'll take a certain amount of damage. If I shoot a guy next to him, is another guy. Next to him is you. You will then take less damage from just you were sitting next to the guy I shot.
Yeah, so in a sense, it will have stun capabilities, but it's just for, I guess, if it's a bigger group.
It's still not necessarily stun. It's still doing direct damage to your health. It's not going to be like, you're knocked out now, kind of thing. As far as I understand it.
Okay.
Like it's still going to kill you. It's just you will take less damage overall, as like a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also but it is a new energy damage type, which they did talk about in the at CitizenCon in their armor archetype panel. How there was going to be 3 different types of energy damage. You'd have at laser, which we have, plasma, which we have, and now electron, which we're going to get. Which is what they have here, the stun / lethal lightning guns.
Mm-hmm.
Now the fact that they apparently do have stun damage as a thing now, I think does mean that relatively quickly, like within probably probably not 310, but within another patch or 2, so we might see maybe end of this year, we might go and have some actual non-lethal weapons of some kind there to go and be able to just like like a taser or something like that, where you can just go and knock a target down, and then if they have a crime set or something, hey, that's it, you're done or something.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's definitely brings a lot of possibilities. So it's good to see.
Yeah, it definitely brings a lot of possibilities, and it's also like because they have body dragging scheduled for 311, I believe it is. So
yeah, I'll be excited when you can actually capture a bounty alive.
It's not player body dragging; it's NPC body dragging. But still,
yeah.
At least it's okay. Now we can say that means that we might have NPC missions,
bounty missions, exactly right.
Missions where we actually have to fight them on foot and not just it's a dogfight.
And then bring them somewhere, or
exactly. Or imagine like you're an EVA and you just like have to you pull his body while an EVA onto your ship.
Yeah.
making sure to hit his head on every single rung and protrusion in the area.
Alright, I have notes somewhere. Okay, so have you guys tried the free fly, the Invictus launch week?
Yeah, I have. I tried a few different ships that I haven't gotten to fly yet, but I like the hologram, but I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger.
Like more like real size than just like
Well,
one.
not even just real size,
scale.
but like that was I don't know. It was a little small.
That's what she said.
I will say I did really like the cockpit on the Cutlass Blue that we're seeing now, because that's now been released with this patch.
Oh yeah,
I do really like the cockpit versus the standard Drake Cutlass Black and Cutlass Red cockpits there.
Well, that trailer looks so good for the Cutlass Blue.
The trailer was pretty nice, although it is still ironic. You've got Drake, the standby for pirates everywhere, promoting a quote unquote police vehicle. It's like, okay, where's the pirate version?
Just a little, I guess, just a brief summary on what we're talking about for anyone who doesn't know. In the Star Citizen universe, Drake Interplanetary is a ship manufacturer that has known criminal associates. They operate in a system that was heavily populated with crime, and then they brought the economy there up. But you can just use your imagination and go, oh yeah, there was probably criminal money that was used to bring up that economy with their ships and all that. And then they sold a lot to pirates, and they're kind of widely known for selling pirates, criminals, all their gear and ships. So yeah, I haven't. You guys want to watch the trailer? Because I haven't watched it yet. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, I got it right here.
In a dangerous galaxy, who can you?
Wait, forgot to show them. Here we are. Okay.
In a dangerous galaxy, who can you trust to watch your back? Drake's Cutlass Blue lets you take the law into your own hands. With all the attitude you expect from a Cutlass. Formidable suppression options offering a range of lethality, supercharged thrusters, plus an integrated quantum dampener and onboard containment system. The Cutlass Blue. Bad news for the bad guys. Only from Drake.
This was like the Cutlass Blue was kind of like their response to, oh no, we're not criminal ship manufacturers. Here, look, we're gonna make something for law enforcement to use.
Yeah, catch the criminals.
I wonder how prolific slavers are gonna use this
sell
thing.
well with law enforcement as much as it did with bounty hunters, from what I can remember from reading. Yeah.
Now, one interesting note to make too is that the text for the Cutlass Blue, now in game, in terms of weaponry, it has the exact same as the Cutlass Black, but in the text for the Cutlass Blue, it says that it sports more missiles than the standard loadout from the Cutlass Black. So it's saying it has more missiles than Cutlass Black, which already supports.
The Cutlass Black has 16.
Well, it sports.
Missiles in total. I don't know how
many. Yeah, missiles in total. So it sports normally, I think, SITS size 4, which usually translates down in the default loadout to 24.
I think it's 8 and 8, right? Like you got.
I thought it was SITS size 4, because then it has the quad mount.
It might be
S2 racks, because I know it usually has just 24 size 2 by default, and on those quad racks that translates down to SITS size 4 mounts, because it doubles it down in terms of the reduction on the mount there, because it's not just 2 extra, it's 4 extra versus the 1 mount point.
Yeah, so how many? It'll have to have quite a few missiles then, hey?
Well, which is kind of crazy too, because I mean, already just 24 size 2s.
Insane.
I mean, because also too, if you were to just rip off the regular weapon, the regular missile rifle commander, and just mount, I mean, just alone, size 4, that's a hell of a payload there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough to start taking down like drop shit. Like you could probably take down a Valkyrie with
Well, it is supposed
one
to
or two of those.
be able to take down other ships. It's a bounty hunter ship / law enforcement ship, depending on.
Or not just the blue. I'm talking just the black.
True.
Yeah, and if they add like even a size 6 to either side,
supposed to be a pirate ship, the Cutlass Black. Cutlass Black is technically a pirate ship.
Well, it's technically a medium freighter.
Right, sorry.
Strictly speaking. Jeez. This slander will not stand.
See, you're the
where
reason
was
they
that
don't get
clip
into the
of,
conventions.
Where was that clip from Whatchamface that at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo with when they covered the Drake?
Oh yeah.
I have it here.
Under the watch of hotshot Wunderkind CEO Andon Arden, Drake Interplanetary has attempted to pull themselves out of the quagmire of controversy. If you ask me, they continue to turn out the same scrappy, dependable stuff while attempting to song and dance a white hat onto their admittedly tarnished image. But at the end of the day, you can't argue with results. That said, Drake claims that they no longer willingly sell their product to reprobates and nefarious Nellies. I'm about to go undercover, thank you Jimmy, to find out if Drake's people are really towing the line or if they are beholden to the almighty credit.
Here on Witness Guide, we aren't afraid to tackle serious issues.
I think this
Come on.
cemented.
How many civilian ships do you think this thing can take down without rearming? 10?
It was kind of
15? Say credit ships? Oh, sorry, there's blood on those. You know, I'm a personal acquaintance of Jan Dredge. Too soon? Yeah, that's way too soon. So, between you and me, roughly how many human-sized slaves do you think we could fit in this cargo hold?
Securing!
I just love he's just like, I'm not even gonna put up with your shit. Security!
Coming up, we put on our fanciest pants and then sully.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I love Jack McCleary. Yep, that's pretty much Drake to everyone. They're more bare bones function over pretty much everything else.
To emphasize that point, so most other ships that have a pretty much most ships have either a ejection seat or a escape pod somewhere on the ship
Not
to
Drake.
get you out of there if the ship becomes too damaged to use anymore. To safely get you out of there. Drake ships do not.
No, the Caterpillar technically does.
So the Caterpillar's one of the few, but then again,
crew.
it's big enough that it's kind of required at that point.
It's of Drake belief that a ship or that a captain goes down with his ship.
Unless you're on a large Drake ship. In that case, if you're part of the command crew, you get to survive. If not, then bye-bye.
Or yes, the higher ups get to survive. The rest of the crew, man, fuck them. Like for example.
The cockpit detaches and can serve as
on a Caterpillar, and for those who don't know, and if you can get like a picture of a Caterpillar up, so a Caterpillar is a very long cargo ship. So the guy on the nose turret of a Caterpillar, hey Bob, we're detaching the module. Bye. Shit.
But yeah, Drake is definitely not designed for luxury.
Which, now, on that note, it seems so weird if you compare. So, Drake recently had a new ship announced. This was, a couple months ago, a year ago, something like that. The Drake Corsair, which was their response to the long-lived Constellation series from RSI, which was actually one of the very first ships designed for Star Citizen here. So decent, medium-sized cargo ship, kind of one of your first real go-tos for like a multi-crew kind of experience there. Meant to hold cargo, maybe a ground vehicle, have some decent weaponry on there. But when you look at it, comparing its just living quarters area, its crew area between the Corsair and the Constellation, the Constellation itself has, let's see, one bench along a wall, one table that pops out of the ground and otherwise folds up, a porta shitter, and then a couple like armor weapon racks and its beds, which also double as escape pods. Versus the Drake Corsair, which again, Drake being the
So that's the
utilitarian, no
caterpillar
creature
on screen for
comforts.
anyone watching.
It looked like it had like actual rooms for the crew, an actual like food and drink area, like a little call it a kitchen nook, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. I'm just sitting there going, I had a Constellation for a while there, and I was just looking at this thing going, this is meant to be a long-term exploration cargo ship kind of thing. Bullshit. I'd go nuts if I was on this thing real life.
Yeah. Yeah, the Constellation
here's the
is,
Corsair
I don't
on the
know.
screen. Yeah, the Constellation series. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them.
I think
They were good when they came out, but I feel like they're kind of dated.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
need a
they need a
rework.
rework not just of the exterior or
The
not
interiors,
just
I
of the
think, need a rework more
interior
than the
to
exterior.
fit
The
the
exterior, I think, is
exterior,
fine.
but
The interior isn't.
they need a total body rework
Yeah.
of like for instance, if you look at the cockpit on the thing is fucking huge, and there's no real reason besides having more space around where the top and bottom turret access is, which is like, look, tuck that in a bit more, and then
Well, there are
like,
components stored there on the sides.
oh sure, and but you can just as easily have components tucked into the living quarters area. Doesn't change anything. Just
Yeah.
I would say push the doors forward by another like 8 feet or so. So as soon as you open up those doors, you have like a couple like 2 or 3 feet, and then boom, there's your turret access. You walk around that to get to the cockpit door or the um the cockpit chairs there. And then turn the rest of that, have like like a little food and drink machine, kind of like the Reliant has. But they got a nice little compact machine there for like food, drink. Have like a real fucking table in there, like just what you would expect to see. Like it's like, okay, we've got this space. If this is going to be all you have in terms of living quarters in a
Yeah.
spaceship, how would that be how would that be done there and with the level of tech they have and all that stuff? Because as it is, it just feels like it's completely bare bones. Like it feels like
Yeah.
if the Drake ship was what the Constellation had, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like they don't give a shit.
No.
But I don't
But
know.
I mean, yeah, I think they just need to.
If you look
There's
at
there's a lot
the
of
Aurora, it makes sense that it's the way it is. I
What
mean,
was
it's
that?
supposed the Aurora. The way if you look
Well,
at it makes sense the way
well,
it's
sure,
a
but
ship
the
with a
Aurora,
bed, and it does
it's
have a
one, it's a
jump
starter
drive
ship, and
and
it's
a
not meant
quantum
for
drive.
long term
Yeah.
solo use. It's
Yeah.
something you use to go like, hey, I'm going from one space station to a city on the other side of the system. It's going to take me a couple of hours. It's the equivalent of a car versus like with the Constellation. That's like your souped up semi truck kind of thing. If you're going to be
Yeah.
spending days or even months on the road.
Yeah, that's like your luxury tour bus on
Yeah.
a bigger scale.
I mean, the Phoenix actually makes good use of all the space.
Yeah. But I mean,
Now, with the Phoenix, oh no, the cargo space in there, if you're physically in there, seems a lot smaller. But strictly speaking, it still has the same amount of cargo, correct?
Uh,
Yeah, it still has the 96 SCU, but in terms of the physical space there,
It's
it's smaller.
smaller, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I was one of the Phoenix was one of the ones checked out from the expo.
Because that's one thing too that I think the Constellation could make better use of is it's like, okay, you're only going to give it X amount of cargo space, so you're only going to go up to X height, let's say 15 feet up from the floor of the cargo bay there. Okay, why then is there nothing using all this extra space? Like, have a little, raised floor on top of there, and you could have like some little windows there, and then of course you'd still have like little holes cut out for the ladders, or like a hatch you could open up or something like that to access the ladders there. But use that space. That's one thing that really bugs me with a lot of ships, and like for instance through the Carrack, there is a lot of wasted space, and when you're on a spaceship, space is a commodity. You're gonna put like if you look at any like for instance, if you were to look at say a submarine or a naval vessel, which is the closest equivalent we really have at this time to what we would consider a commercial spaceship kind of thing. But and then also too, if you even just look at real life spaceships, every freaking inch of space is used. Yeah, well, exactly. And every single space, every single inch of space is being used for something. Whether you have like I'm going to put papers here with a little magnetic clip, or I have there's a little holder there for a med kit, a light, whatever. The space is being used for something because there's always there's always another backup or something you can put there.
Exactly.
And it bugs me to see a lot of space where there's just nothing.
Well, and especially when you're referring to the Phoenix, it's if somebody's paying, like you're expecting a high-end customer to pay, you're all that stuff. You want as much commodities as you can get for them, right? Like you don't want.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that it's also kind of interesting to see like the Phoenix makes good use of its space, whereas the other variants, well, the Taurus being excluded because we don't have that yet. The Andromeda and the Aquila, or Aquila as some people call it, those constellations don't make good use of their space. It's just kind of, a lot of it's wasted, a lot of it's empty. I mean, seriously, it's a table, there's one table and a benches, and there's like a porta potty type bathroom / shower, and that's really, and a few storage lockers, like that's about it.
And those lockers too, bear in mind, those are nowhere near big enough as the we've recently seen for armor sizes, because we've seen both on the very early Squadron 42 video. We saw the locker there to store stuff. We've seen with Eric its lockers, and even with what we saw on the Microtech level. Where the guy had the armor in the little storage case that was in the cave, but in all these instances, it's pretty decently sized there. It's not going to be something that fits in a little like 4-inch, 5-inch locker there. It's going to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
So those lockers are definitely not going to work,
especially with like Titan armor. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with physical inventory is going to be a thing that we need to really think about. It's
well, and you're going to need to have then not only of course the weapon itself. You're going to need to have your ammo. You're going to need to have things like grenades, med pens, oxy pens. You need to have multi-tool attachments, ammunition, and that's
gun
just off that food, drink.
And then it's also, if you're depending on which planet you're going to, depending on the environment you're in, you're gonna have to plan ahead, because there's going to be no way you're going to carry everything.
For different environments.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then also too, especially with like let's say the Aquila, for example, I would say given that it's a exploration ship, it would need at least 2 suit or armor racks per person.
Yeah, because it's not
And
supposed to be as long range as the Carrack by any means.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
still, it still should be able to at least go a few weeks on its own without having to refuel or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my mind too is
like
that
the
you would have.
Enterprise, like from the TOS, like it's like 5-year mission, but we're gonna make stops at every starbase, like every single time we need something. Like, no, it's a giant ship. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be able to store all the things they need, or they think they need,
exactly.
and then they make stops if they need to.
Well, and on top of that too, my thought is you would have with 2 armor racks available per person, per crewman. That would give you the option for one is just combat. So that's my, hey, this might be dangerous or something like that, or just general use. And then the other one would be for things like, hey, we're landing on microtech. It's freezing fucking cold there. We're going to die if we aren't protected well enough. Then you have your environmental protection.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I mean, to be fair,
And as
a
I
lot
learned,
of older
even if
ships
you
will
are
need to be
protected,
reworked, but
like from the cold on because my armor provides me like a good hour's protection.
well,
microtech,
sure,
but this is
sure.
what
I mean, you aren't going to die
I don't think you can
instantly,
see
but
it on the
still.
stream. This is what my HUD looks like on microtech. Like, I don't know, like 10 minutes in, just standing in the snow. Like my HUD's completely iced over.
Yeah.
So I'm still good for on the screen. It says 30 minutes. Okay, so this is me standing 30
But
minutes.
that's also, bear in mind, that's until you die, and likely what will still happen. They obviously have only gotten the first run of survival with temperature in. As you get colder and colder, as you get closer and closer to death, likely you're going to go and be suffering worse and worse effects of that. You're going to slow down. You aren't going to be as accurate with
Yep.
weapons, that kind of stuff.
And-
So
and
it
you're-
won't just be.
And they already
do,
have that
do,
in
do.
place. Like like different gear will slow you down.
The-
Different weapons will slow you down.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the other thing is you have to keep in mind it's not even just going to be like the cold slowing you down. If you're getting however many pounds of ice on your armor, that's going to slow you down.
Too. That too,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Not to mention wind
Now-
resistance.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, it'll
definitely stuff to think about there.
Well, that's what I like about this game, that you have to think before you act. So
Exactly. It's not a game you can just hop into and be done.
But obviously, stuff still requires a lot of work there.
Oh yeah.
So have you guys tried the Cutlass Blue yet? Because we were.
No.
Alright,
I
haven't-
explored
I
it
haven't been able
in
to get in yet.
the expo stand, but I haven't actually flown it myself.
Okay, because I have. Yeah, sorry.
One thing I'll note in it though is that it does appear, at least visually, that it has a extra set of weapon racks, and possibly some other storage there. Because on the if you're coming in off the ramp, so you're facing forward, on the
Any
right
extra
hand
beds?
side, that back wall in the cargo area, there's a weapon rack there. Now it has some metal grates kind of over it, obviously, because it's just in case of like some
Because
guy.
it's not in the airlocked room.
Exactly, it's not
Like,
necessarily
that's
secure.
where the prisoners are held. So yeah.
Exactly. Now, I did note next to the last weapon rack, there appeared to be some other kind of storage. I don't know if that's going to be just purely visual, if that's going to be for like gear, like say multi-tools or grenades or something. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I haven't been able to get in game yet. As we tried the other night, and like my game kept crashing, and then by the time you logged off, I continued trying to get in game to the point where even the game wouldn't load up itself. At that point, it wasn't on my side; it was the game on the server side.
yeah,
Because I kept getting like 16,007 errors and stuff like that, like 15,000 errors.
Oh,
The game wouldn't even load up to the main menu. It would just load up. It would load and then crash, and I'd have to Alt F4 the game to close it down. It wouldn't even let me close down with the mouse. So that's and I've heard you guys were telling me similar problems, and I've heard the same thing from other people. So seems that the free fly was not that great in terms of actually getting into the game in the last few days.
Yeah, I don't think they were planning for this many people, to be honest with
I
you.
honestly don't think it's so much the number of people, just that with the current patch that they have. Because bear in mind too, the patch we had, like the current patch we have,
Yeah.
compared to what we had before, this one is so much more stable. At least from my personal experience, this one has been a lot more stable, a lot more bug free. Obviously not completely bug free, but a lot more bug free. So I
Yeah,
think it's
I
partially
mean,
just all
I
that.
have an image on the stream right now of the screenshot of me without a head. That was essentially that was just before the free fly. that was kind of like the game was running fine, but I mean I wasn't able to pull up the Moby glass at times, and my head was missing.
Where we're
I was still
going, we
able
don't
to eat.
need heads.
I was still able to eat and drink. Because I couldn't pull up the Moby glass. I couldn't buy the food and drink myself. I had to have someone else buy it and then give it to me, and then I would just be able to drink it and eat it from then. But you know that I was suffering some major bugs that were not on my side. The only reason why my game keeps crashing when I load up the 391, which is the free fly patch, the current patch, is I think because I'm spawning at ArcCorp and ArcCorp eats my RAM as though, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. It's always been a bit of a
Because
hog.
every time I load up ArcCorp, or at least every time I spawn at Area 18, ArcCorp I have no problem with, but when I'm at Area 18, when I spawn there, within like 5 minutes usually, I'll get a little notification on my computer saying, Star Citizen's using too much RAM, do you want to close this program or whatever. So
How much RAM do you have?
I have 16, so I'm kind of curious as to why.
Okay.
I don't have anything else running other than Discord when I'm playing usually, so.
Yeah, I have 16 gig.
I know. I'm looking into it. I was telling Cam I'm looking into it next week. So unfortunately, it will be about
I mean,
a week until I
I'm
can
playing
play.
right now, and I just went and alt tabbed out, and I'm using 9 gig of RAM right now.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I think it is an
9.3.
operating system thing on mine because I'm still on older operating.
I'm in right now. But just my CPU is stressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I don't have any CPU problems. Most of my problems are RAM based. I need to run some diagnostics, see what's up with that. But yeah, this patch hasn't really been that stable to begin with anyways, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess it also depends. Do you have DDR4 or DDR3, Cam?
I have DDR3. Cam, what do you
I'm
have?
on DDR4, so
yeah, that would be
helps a
why.
good bit.
Yeah. That makes a world of difference, so.
Now, that being said, I have seen plenty of new people in game. I have helped some out here and there. There was fun little story. I was on Microtech, so this is the nice snowy planet there, a couple of days ago, and there was a guy, and he was saying that he had managed to crash his ship. He had the Avenger Titan into the ground there, on the planet. So I was like, okay, here, let me go and party up with you. I'm gonna come try to find you. He was
Yeah.
right near the spaceport, like only like 3,000 meters away. So not far at all.
Yeah.
So pop over there on my Pisces, lander, and I'm in my snowy armor because obviously I don't know what might need to be done there. So I'm like, I'm gonna be safe here. He had managed to land belly down, but at such an angle that the ramp would not drop all the way down, so he couldn't walk out.
Okay.
So I get him. Okay, here, press this to go and crawl through. And I can hear him on comms, and he's laughing because he's just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he crawled out of the ship, because of how the ramp was at that angle there,
no.
the physics punched up and instantly killed him. And I'm just sitting there like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had that a few times with the Titan, the ramp on it.
But besides that, that would have been an absolutely awesome rescue mission.
Yeah, but the Titan ramp.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't used the Vendor Titan in a while, so I wouldn't know. But I've had issues with the Cutlass Black ramp many times.
No,
yeah.
have they been working on
Not
a
lethal
new
problems,
physics
but problems
update?
where it's like it opens and then you can't close it again, or vice versa. Like you'll close
Now,
it and it won't
have they
open.
been working on a new physics update at all?
Have they?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys have heard anything.
Not that
I'm not
I'm
sure.
aware of. I can check the roadmap real quick. If it'll be on the roadmap.
Well, we know how accurate that is here.
Yeah, that's true. We do.
Speaking of, there's mutterings that soon, TM, we will be getting an update to the roadmap to help more accurately reflect the development of the game and the flow of it, because the current form that it's in currently does not lend itself well to the progress they are making.
True.
Yeah.
Also, they have not updated the Squadron 42 roadmap in a good
Pretty
while.
much since like
March 6th of
20.
2020. So
Yeah.
Which,
And even then, it wasn't really updated. Like it
they
was
updated
like
it like once every other month anyway. So
yeah, there
and
wasn't
then
really anything
the
added
whole
to
reason
it
they
there.
didn't update it was due to the whole I think Crytek thing. So there's
Well, we assume
we
one of the
assume.
major reasons was the Crytek thing, but given that it still hasn't been updated really since,
And
that to me says
they're
there's
done
bigger
with that,
problems.
yeah,
And
which
it's
is not
supposed
good to
out
see because
this year,
Squadron.
or at least beta this year.
Well, to be fair, from the leaks server, apparently we have it from hearsay that Squadron 42 is apparently within about 1/4 or so of being on target here. Which, that being said, honestly, I've always figured it's going to be about 1 or 2 quarters off of what
I
their
think everyone did.
goal is, just because even at the best of times, shit happens.
Right,
Yeah.
and with the whole pandemic going on right now, shit happens.
Well, and
so.
that too. On top of that, so but
Yeah, it's
also
not
too,
helping.
bear in mind,
Without the
we
pandemic, though, it was probably gonna be late anyway. Let's be honest. So.
yeah, but all we were ever told too was that it would be entering internal. Again, this is not public facing or backer facing, but it would be entering internal alpha around this time really here, and then beta later on in the year, um, and then that beta continues through the end of the year. So I've always been under the assumption, and still am at this point, that we might be seeing maybe around this time next year, actually getting our hands on Squadron 42. It'll be sometime mid or maybe
Well,
late
the
summer here.
alpha, yeah, the alpha was well, obviously we're probably gonna get our hands on, especially those of us that.
Well, I don't
bought
know.
both
I
games
don't
or
think
one or
we're
the
ever
other.
going to get our hands on the alpha or beta of Squadron 42, just because there will be so much spoiler stuff that
Good
I
point.
don't think they're going to release that to us at all. Now, the avocados might might get access to it, but even then, because I mean, we all know with the Evocati, they all sign NDAs when they go on the patches,
Yep.
and we still have people that the leak server have reached out to who are giving us information that, because it's like, hey, we want to be following this info as soon as it comes out. We don't want to
Yeah.
just wait for, well, we were going to put this in, but they canceled it, and now we don't know when that's going to come in. Hearing that is better than just, oh, well, it's just disappeared off the roadmap and we have no idea why. Oh, well, now we know that it was causing horrible, horrible, horrible crashes for everything,
Yeah.
and they
True.
had to go and refactor it a bit. But that being said, if it does go to the Evocati, betting that the security and the measures they take to ensure secrecy of it to prevent a lot of leaks going out are going to be a lot more stringent.
Yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
be nearly
I mean,
as
overall, because I mean, they've even put in patch notes stuff like, please don't leak this, and it's just like, okay, really, they know that we're trying to go, people are data mining this stuff, and we want to be sitting
yeah.
with that newest information as soon as possible. So
And
they know we're looking for that.
with Star Citizen and like ships and stuff, it's not that big of a deal. But with a story-based game like Squadron 42, it's way bigger.
For anyone
Exactly.
who's not aware, Squadron 42 is the story-driven single-player campaign where you play as Mark Hamill's wingman. To be honest, that's as we know so far. And Star Citizen is the RPG MMO, online multiplayer game where open universe and all that. So they're two separate games. They're set in the same universe, and that's so obviously one
Pretty
having
much.
all the story and characters, spoiler stuff that they're actually holding back a lot of content like ships, like the Idris and Javelin, F8 Lightning, F7A, all these certain ships that they're holding back because they want us to experience it first time in Squadron 42.
Yeah.
Because it serves a story or it serves a purpose or something.
Yeah. So, for example, the Lightning is going to be a reward. Well, I don't know. Is it going to be a reward ship, or are you going to have to still pay for it? Like
from what I understand of it, and of course, everything is still subject to change and all that.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, the way they want to have it work is that by playing now, bear in mind too, the original plan for Squadron 42 was not that it would be a standalone game, but just it would be a sort of intro slash tutorial slash a little bit of story driven stuff in there, and then your character would so you would play through that little segment there,
Yeah.
just a little bit of stuff, and then your character would retire from the military, and then you would then be a citizen of the UEE, the United Earth Empire. And by being a citizen, this would grant you some additional perks, bonuses, availability of stuff. Because not everyone in the way the UEE works, just being born in the UEE does not make you a citizen. There are special perks and benefits that come with being a citizen, and you can get citizenship, among other ways, through military service. However, as the story grew and grew, they added more and more to it. Squadron 42 is now its own standalone thing. That being said, the way I heard they want to do it now is that yes. But the way I heard they wanted with the F8 is that once you complete Squadron 42's storyline, then you would have the ability to purchase the F8, or at least a stripped down civilian variant of the F8.
Like, for example,
from
the
UEE.
F8C.
Yeah, exactly,
Like the
exactly.
F7C.
They'll probably pull off, because like as it is, the one I remember seeing, they had like 6 weapon mounts, at least 4 missiles, and a turret. So
Yeah,
at my
things
guess,
are
they would
monster.
probably
The
rip
things are
off
monster.
2 of those weapon mounts at least.
Yeah, it's
So-
supposed to be like the ultimate fighter for the Lightning.
Yeah. Which, and I
It's
can
the
see
air
definitely how it
superiority
could not
fighter,
stand
yeah.
as is in player hands. Otherwise, it would unbalance a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's supposed to be one of those military exclusive ships where like you could technically get one in Star Citizen
that is an interesting thought
by
though,
stealing
because
one
we've
from
seen
the military.
already
Just good luck
people
getting out of their life.
stolen them. So I wonder what would
That's
happen
true,
if
yeah.
players did,
because
because they did say eventually down the line, once all the systems are on and all this kind of shit, that they do want you to have the option, the ability at risk to yourself, obviously, to be able to steal a ship and then have it registered to you. Now,
Yeah,
obviously
like
speaking,
go
if
to
you
a
show up with a piece of military hardware that's obviously military hardware, you cannot, as a civilian, get access to this. It's going to be a little bit harder there to, and maybe military ships like
it'll
that.
be very difficult.
Don't worry, I bought it in
Once
an
you've
auction.
stolen it'll be very difficult to steal, and once you've stolen it, it'll be very difficult to get away. But if you can pull it off, congratulations, you just got a new ship.
And there'll be other things that you'll have to do.
Ship, but my question is, how would you ensure it? Because the thing of it is, we've seen just with glitches and stuff alone, that can go and kill you there. And if your ship is gone, let's say if you're just flying along and then game crashes, hey, your ship is we don't know where, then, if you don't have insurance on it, that ship's gone. So, like I said, the question would be who would insure a military ship? So I mean, obviously, some criminal elements might be able to, but that's going to cost you a pretty fucking penny.
But that's later down the line stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but even with stealing a civilian ship, it's going to be quite hard because there's going to be identifying factors to that ship, right? It's not just going to be.
I mean, they have that now with just the civilian ships.
Yeah.
By the way. Stealing a civilian ship.
No. I just thought of something hilarious. Because again, being in mind the military generally has a bit of a different mindset than Civi side does, right? My mindset is this. So let's say you manage to you get on a Idris or whatever. You manage to get that F8. You hotwire it, and you're flying out there going, suckers. And then as you're flying away, you then see on the HUD there it goes self-destruct remote.
The same thing, it's like, they have trackers in the civilian ones. What if they just have a self-destruct?
I mean, they already have a self-destruct on most ships anyway. It doesn't seem infeasible to me that there would be a remote activation.
All you hear is self-destruct, ejection seat deactivated.
Yes, that too. You're just like, cockpit locked. Shit. That would be absolutely hilarious. And realistically speaking, if they did that, I don't see any reason why that would not fit narratively in the universe there. It's like, hey, look, why wouldn't they have remote activation of it?
Unlike, say, the UNSC and Halo, the UEE are not very nice.
No.
Like, they're the humans, they're the good guys, they're the heroes we're rooting for. No, I mean, there was a time where they were just, like, straight up evil.
I mean, was it straight up evil? I mean, I haven't delved too deep into the lore everywhere, so...
The Messer era was pretty screwed up.
Well, how long ago was that? Like, are people still alive today who, like, carried that out,
there
or...?
There are loyalists, still.
Oh, okay.
But
well, even still...
They kicked... After the fall of the Messers, they kicked most of the loyalists out of high-ranking positions.
But how long ago was that?
I don't know. I would have
to just because I'm thinking of it like, is it something comparable to like we have the U.S. Civil War, which was over 100 years ago here. You still have people going, the South will rise again, and it's like, okay, whatever you say, it's obviously nothing versus stuff like Russia right now going, hey, we decided to annex Ukraine, bitch, who's gonna stop us? And it's going, because it was less than a generation ago that you had the USSR here, and if they're getting uppity again, it's like,
yeah.
I'm just kind of wondering where on the spectrum there we're looking
for the UE.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Galactopedia thing right now. I don't have a link to that.
But yeah, like as you're saying, it would definitely fit the narrative of Star Citizen.
My point was that it would fit the universe and the story so that you could do it as a gameplay thing. Especially since, it's unlike many games where, like, the gameplay doesn't necessarily mean something in lore. Star Citizen, pretty much everything you do in-game is lore-related. Like, the lore and gameplay are intertwined.
There's no ships there that are just there for no reason. They're all, like...
Everything, like, for example, literally, like, knowing the lore can help and vice versa.
Oh, then again, look at the Argo now.
What?
The Argo?
What about it?
The Argo personnel and cargo. Compare that to the Pisces now. The Pisces outranks it in every way. Alexa, shut up. Sorry.
With the Argo,
Okay.
Sorry, go for it.
I was just gonna say if you compare, so originally the Argo was meant to really be a both personnel and cargo shuttle for things such as from station to ground bases, or as we see with the Idris, because Idris actually has um a Argo dock built into it, kind of tucked away in there. But now that we have the Pisces, compare either of
With
the
the
Argos, because the
parasite.
Argo itself carries 2 SCU, which now that might be updated later on. But even if, let's say, if it carries 4 SCU, let's double that. The Pisces can still carry that plus 2 other passengers, not including the pilot. That
Yeah.
alone, along with the fact that it has 1, weapons, 2, a quantum drive, 3, a jump drive, to me on a military ship, that would be an incredible asset just in terms of, hey, we need to get this data over to this location ASAP. We can't go and draw attention to that, if there's something more clandestine going
Yeah.
on, or, even let's say if you have a blockade. Sure, you could take your Idris and your fighters and just try to ram through it, but it's going to be pretty obvious you just did. Versus if I take a Pisces and I go and I jump in and then I immediately dampen down all my electronics and shit, get myself up to a good speed, and then just turn everything off and just coast through your blockade. You never even see me. You don't even know that I've just breached a blockade with that data, and I'm fucking around now, ruining your day. You don't even know it.
Yeah, I
So
think
just in my mind, that the Pisces would be a much greater asset to a military fleet like the Idris versus an Argo.
yeah, if you're going to
Plus,
use
it does
military,
have
I just think
guns,
it's
so it could provide ground support.
yeah, I think the Argo is just more geared towards like I guess industrial instead of like military.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and maybe too, it's like maybe it's hardier or something. It doesn't need as much servicing as
Yeah,
more
exactly.
complex ships.
And
So
it's not
having
going
it,
to cost as
It is
much.
smaller than the Pisces, so there is that.
yes, I believe it is a little bit like in terms of width. I think it's
It's smaller in
somewhat
width,
close.
but I think it is taller and shorter.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Also, I found the page. Master era ended in 2792. The current year is 2950. So.
Okay. So does it say like are they still like
I remember reading it somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. I think I was reading about maybe one of the Devarin Wars. So apparently, let's see, I have the Messer era here.
Now, who makes the Idris?
Aegis, and the Pisces is
Aegis?
Granville. So.
Okay.
I believe actually Aegis was military manufactured during the Mesa era.
is it Aegis who makes the Pisces?
No, Anvil makes the Pisces.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And the Hornets and the F8 Lightning.
But I will say, in terms of being a small shuttlecraft, obviously it's not going to be doing anything.
It's pretty much the Star Trek shuttlecraft.
Yeah, honestly though, it's in terms of being a shuttle, it's as perfect of a fucking shuttle as you could really have it. Like as long as they go and make that interior upgradable down the line with like, a bed you can throw it in the cargo spaces or like some armor weapon racks, it'll be fucking perfect.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I haven't tried. So what do you guys think of the event though? Because I haven't been able to get into the game, but you guys have. So what?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, realistically,
actually in game,
it was just pretty much another expo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
another
overall, it
expo.
was pretty much just an expo crossed with a free fly, which I mean, isn't a bad thing, but nothing
Well,
like
isn't the expo just a free fly as well? Or is
pretty
that,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like you just got to fly a bunch of different ships.
and they usually did have a free fly correspond with those, so
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing. Yeah,
But you
it
did
definitely
get to
wasn't
see the
bad, but
Idris and
nothing
the Javelin in
special.
the game.
The fleet was interesting to see, but now I will say I did go when I was on the PTU side. When they first pushed out the patch that we currently have now on the live side, on the test servers, I immediately jumped in, gathered up everyone who would listen to me, and we all tried attacking the fleet as soon as because they were activating defenses on there. Because when they originally had they have a capital ship fleet going around being like the show for the military, kind of showing off
Yeah.
here because the whole Invictus week is when the new service members are coming into the military, so it's kind of a big old event there. So originally, though, the fleet that they had flying around in game did not have any defenses, and so people, of course, are fucking with its auto pathing, attacking its escorts, and stuff like that, until they activated the defenses there. Once they did, myself and some others, several retaliators, I was in a hammerhead, did try to attack it, and I think with all of our amassed firepower, we had something like maybe 15 people attacking it on different ships. We maybe got its shields down to 50%, and that's a huge
Actually,
maybe.
here, let me get footage of it. Might just, at least on the
Uh,
stream, Discord will be.
I do have a clip here
on
if
for
you
a
want me
second.
to add it. I do have a clip here if you want me to add it, the one I
Yeah,
showed you.
no. Yeah, share it and I'll just put it up. Because I know you put it in the Discord, but I don't feel like scrolling through a bunch of messages right now to find it. Unless I can remember where it was.
No, it's too big. I can't put it in here. It would have to be on the server. You'd have to pull it from the
Scrolling through the
server
wrong channel.
itself.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Let me just get Discord back up. So there we are. Everyone can see the Discord again, and so yeah, there it is on the screen. So yeah, that's you shooting at the javelin.
Yep. I'm on a hammerhead turret there. There was one other gunner there, and you can see also too the pilot is shooting the missiles on the hammerhead at it as well, which are doing fuck all to it.
Yeah, well, the Hammerhead's a blockade ship.
True.
It's also a mobile anti-aircraft platform, but
Yeah, it's more meant for taking down your small shit, nothing like that. Although, then again, I will say we didn't try ramming it, so.
that's true. The Hammerhead is meant for ramming and
Well, it is not meant for ramming. However, coincidentally,
Hammerhead.
the front of it is more structurally reinforced than the rear of it. Make of that what you will.
And it has a docking collar or a docking port in the front of the ship, where you can say ram and board another ship with it. So let your imagination run wild.
But yeah, it'll be fun when the bigger ships get put into game for players to fly to.
Yeah. It was
We
just
have
being...
a few. I think we have a javelin or two in our organization. So.
Yeah, I think Chris might have one.
No, I know Myrmidon has one. I don't know if Chris has one.
Okay.
Chris has an Idris. So we have at least 3 Idrises. Idrisi?
Which, of course, means that we have more capital ships than we can crew, but...
Yes. It also means that if one gets destroyed, we have spares.
That's true. That's true.
Always good to have, a backup capital ship.
Exactly.
Haha, you destroyed my Idris. I destroyed your Idris. But did you destroy my second Idris? What?
And then, if they say yes, you can say, did you destroy my third?
And we're just like, this is getting ridiculous. Yes, it is. You should just die now.
And this is outside Beijing Point, right? Where the docking bays are?
That was at Port Tressler over Microtech.
Oh, really? They're all the way over there, too?
Yep.
I thought they were just at... so wait, does every station have those dry
No,
docks?
so now I will say, from what I've heard, the fleet itself is not actually coded to do quantum jumps. They're not actually jumping. But what they do is they go between Everett over Hurston, Port Tressler, and
Beijing
what's
Point.
and Bellini Point. And so it'll go and stay at one station. It'll pull into dock. You get all the fireworks. Yay! It sits there for a bit. It then pulls out of dock. They'll fly away a ways and then disappear. And then on the map, the icon for it will appear at the next location. Another group spawns in at the next station. Essentially,
okay.
it's they're doing everything except for actually making them quantum jump. I don't know if they just made them run into an error with that or what, but
Yeah, I
basically get
imagine
disabled at one point, enabled at another point, dock in with there, disabled there, enabled at the next point, rinse repeat.
Yeah, I imagine they don't have the capabilities for the Javelin right now to quantum.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I understand, it has none of the actual interior right now, so...
It does not. I've seen the screenshots, unfortunately. It's just hollow inside. Same with the... actually, I haven't seen any of the Idris, but I imagine it's the same deal.
Well, from what I've heard, they're using the some of the older models of it, and one of the reasons I heard for that too is that they can be sure that, hey, we know
in
these
lore,
models
those older
will not
models
cause
are
you
still
to
a thing.
crash or anything. So,
Well, that's what I kind of like, is if the older models are still canon in lore, they're just like older models of it. Like, for example, the original arc light energy pistol we had way back in, say, like 2.5. That's just the Mark 1 energy pistol. And
Yeah, they don't like get rid of the entire design and say whatever they call it, like they
like
actually say,
maybe in the future we'll get those
design.
designs back as like a new as a quote unquote new weapon, but it'll be that old design and they'll just be, oh, this is just the old pistol, they're selling it again or something like that.
Yeah, or you might be able to get some on the black market or something like that, right?
Exactly, like maybe you go to a criminal hub and you can get one.
Yeah, because they're in like circulation, but you can't buy them off the market anymore.
Because they're not new anymore, right? Because they stopped making them, so you can only get them legally now.
But yeah, it'll be interesting.
That's just how. That's another way of how like the lore incorporates into the gameplay.
yep.
And now I'm kind of mesmerized by the gameplay of you shooting at a Jeff. Oh, that just looks so much fun. Just wait until those things are player controlled. All havoc will break loose.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they're going to be capital ships are going to be moving around a lot though. They're going to have to.
No, I mean that is pretty much the movement we're going to be seeing with capital ships. Is what you see in front of you right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that all being said, they did also say that the capital ships will be horribly resource intensive to not just outfit, because bear in mind too with capital ships, for those who don't know, even if one of the big points that brought up with Star Citizen many times is that, hey, if you can buy ships with money, how the hell is it not pay to win? One of the many things they do to go and encounter stuff like that is that just because I have a capital ship and just because I've gotten 30 of my closest friends to go and man the damn thing, it's still going to go, and when it originally gets put in, it's going to be completely barren. You're going to have to put in all the components,
You're
because
going
I
to
assume
need to
it'll...
make the money to buy all the components, weapons, fuel.
Yeah,
everything.
you're not going to be able to hop into it and just go. You're going to have to actually.
So that alone is going to take you a fucking while, and that's just to get
That'll
the
take
thing
you a while
out of your
with
fucking
just like
hangar.
a size 2 ship like the Cutlass Black, let alone
Yeah.
a Javelin.
Yeah, and it costs just to outfit a Cutlass Black. If I want to get the best components, the best
I
on
don't
there,
know.
it costs
How
you
much is a
several
shield generator?
hundred
Those things
thousand.
are at
AUD.
least a size 2 shield
Yeah.
generator is at least in the 10,000 credit.
So we're
range.
probably
And that's
talking
the cheaper
smaller
ones.
ship.
Those are the cheaper
We're-
ones. A
So we're
good
probably
one is like
talking
100,000.
millions of credits here for even small capital ships just to outfit, and that's just pulling out of the hangar for the first time, going, "Hey, let's go do something stupid with this thing."
Yeah.
That's
Not even.
counting. Hey, we just got our asses handed to us because we don't know how to use the damn thing, and we need to go and spend half again the money we just put in to fix the damn thing up.
Either that or the amount of fuel that you have to burn just to fly it somewhere is going to be insane.
Oh yeah.
Like you're not going to be able to
Honestly,
just
it would be
put
hilarious.
like 1,000 UEC into gas, you know, and just
Which is
fly.
why
You're
the
going to have to put
Javelin will be a
100,000.
special use.
It'd be hilarious to be like you're sitting there in your little Vulcan, your little ammo fuel resupply
Yeah,
ship.
the Vulcan,
Trucking
fuel
along, you got,
rerun
hey, some guys offered me some money to go and get them some fuel. Yeah, I just
Okay.
top my tank up. Let's get over there. Pop over. It's a fucking Javelin. we need some fuel, please. You're just like, oh, you idiots.
Just say, if you do it fast enough, we'll give you a good tip.
And it's and you got the camera on. They're like crying, like we need.
That'd be hilarious, and I guarantee it'll happen within like the first week of the game. I guarantee it'll happen.
Oh, even later in the game, it'll be people who are, not able to get it at the start even. Because keep in mind, you'll have to buy the ship too before you outfit it if you don't buy it outside a game.
Yep.
So it'll definitely be an organizational effort, not just one person.
As again, that's why the Javelin will be a special use ship. It'll be like our special move.
And then I guess the other thing is with plot, like land plots, buying that, that'll be expensive too. So it's gonna have to be something you're looking into. Space for your ship to keep it on, right?
Yeah. Well, there are also hangars. We should
Yeah.
hangars, so.
Well, aren't there going
I
to be
imagine you're
hangars
gonna have to
used
rent
too?
them.
Well, no. Technically, we each have hangars already.
Oh,
We
yeah,
each
yeah,
have
I
one
guess, yeah.
on the
True.
start, so.
But will you be able to fit all your ships in there with the Javelin?
Yeah, we have no idea how that's gonna work yet.
Yeah, well, I do hope at some point, alongside all the actually important details and all that shit, I do hope at some point we get those personal hangars back. Just because I did like being able to go and put in little, displays and shit like that.
I
Yeah.
love the idea of those hangars. I honestly I still want. I know this is like a useless and pointless thing, but I still want to be able to just hop into a friend's hangar. Like just that.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Like for example, hey, like what are you doing? Oh, I'm just running around my hangar. Hey, can I join you? Sure. And I'm just running around.
Yeah,
my
hey,
hangar too.
I'm working on customizing my fucking Cutlass Black. Hey, you want to help? Yeah, sure.
Obviously,
Yeah,
eventually in the game, we'll actually be able to fly over to each other's hangars. But I mean, like, it would just be so cool to just be able to go into each other's hangars and help each other out and hang out with each other. And for example, we can have an org hangar, it'd be this huge, massive thing. We can have our, Javelin. And
Just imagine too, being in like say Art Corp or something like that. If you have a hangar and you have like the doors open, now you still have like obviously like if someone's not allowed, they can't come in. But just being able to just see and like off in the distance like all the ships flying by and stuff like that, and you're just working on your ship, walking around like, oh hey, there goes a Carrack, or oh hey, there's a couple caterpillars there,
Oh, there goes Chris off to do his own thing again.
Oops, looks like that ship just crashed into another one. Oh, that looks like an 18-ship pile up there. Oh, that's going to be messy.
I blame Cryptic.
And that's even with just the Javelin, there's going to be things that are happening on the ship that you're not even going to realize,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
There's a massive ship. There's a tram inside the ship. It's that big.
So
I wonder if that's the tram we saw on the teaser video we got end of last year, where it showed the player and like one or two people on like some little tram thing.
I know what you're talking about. The Squadron 42 visual
Yeah.
teaser.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'm wondering
real
if
quick.
that was.
I know what you're talking about. I was wondering that as well. Visual teaser. I think it was this year. Okay, 5 months ago. So like end of last year. Yeah. Holiday.
Josh?
I mean, it's just music, so I could play it in the background, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're not monetized, so it doesn't matter. And even if we were,
it's transformative.
the music is.
But
I mean, the music that they have in the trailer, it's nice, but I mean, it's not as good as just the music they have in the actual game right now. Like a Microtech theme, I'm loving that one right now.
now, one thing I want to, on at least the tram, one thing that I have always really loved about Star Citizen and how they're making it is that if you get on a ship, it has its own entirely self-contained physics grid. So that means that if I have a box on there and it's on the floor, even though I'm flying upside down on a planet, gravity is still for the ship down, which compared, so then if I just walk off the back ramp to the ship, I'm gonna go and fall on my head there.
Right,
I'd have to be careful.
Yeah.
Gravity, yeah.
But I just love that aspect about the self-contained physics grids, which allow for things like, I mean, right now I'm actually
It allows for some really
game.
fun gameplay, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know how that's going to, if that's going to change in the future, but if it
I
does,
hope not.
I hope it doesn't, and I hope it's rather just like if you're in atmosphere now, things are more subject to like rattle and shit. Like for example, like if your ship's knocked around, you're more likely in atmosphere inside your ship to be knocked around in the ship rather than if you're in space.
Yeah, like more like there's turbulence, less like, you know, it's still. But it should just be that the atmospheric conditions are affecting the inside of the ship, rather than we just took away that physics grid. Because also too, you have like the option of if I turn the artificial gravity of the ship off, or you know the ship loses power, then hey, you now have the full force of the planet working on whatever is in there.
Yeah.
So
No, it's nice. Plus, I wonder if they'll add the feature or allow us to actually turn gravity off on our ships at some
Yeah.
point. So this way we can actually.
they've said yeah, we'll be able to
said
do
yes.
that.
Okay, awesome. And here's the
Yeah.
transfer.
So-
So I was wondering if that's
So then, is that something
Already-
that I was gonna say is that something that with say in the Javelin, right? Say somebody gets on your Javelin and they start messing with your gravity, whatever module it is that you know, produces the gravity.
Bear
Will
in
they be
mind,
able
though,
to-
especially a large
Oh, you know,
ship,
we have
you're
those.
probably
Yeah,
gonna
they
go-
don't have multiple.
We've
Yeah.
seen the gravity
Yeah.
generators on most ships. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
that'll be cool.
Yes.
Mess with the gravity.
So you could, for example, if let's say, for example, there's another org you don't like, or you know, there's an NPC ship or whatever like that, you could go in and I assume down the line we'll probably have some kind of a remote detonated charge. So you go and you put like charges on all the gravity generators or the power generators, for example. It's like, why take out the gravity generators if I can just take out the power instead?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, depending on what your specific mission is, but either way, it's like with that, like I said, you know, and if you can already take out the gravity that way, there's no reason why you can't just toggle it on and off yourself.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was the trim in the Javelin as well. Also, I thought this was pretty cool seeing the Argo MPVs being built there.
Yeah.
Like, this is a nice visual teaser, especially since it's all, like, this is how it will look in game. This isn't like oh, it's cinematics, and it's like, this is pretty much how it looks when we play the game. This is,
Yeah. But it's always been very visually stunning.
yeah. Like, you can say a lot about Star Citizen, but you can't say it looks bad. Now, at one point I thought that was the Consolidated Outlands Pioneer, the colony ship, but then I realized, oh wait, no, that's one of those mining stations, because I see the laser beams going off.
Yeah.
But the shape is very similar, and we haven't seen that ship in a while. Now that's a ship that will allow us to do base building and put, as you were mentioning land claims earlier, we can actually put bases and build on those land claims and essentially colonize moons and planets and barren areas. Like, that's the reason why in the game right now, if you go to really any moon, they're pretty much really barren and just a wasteland. And the reason for that is because we're going to be able to base build and populate them ourselves. Now, whether, I mean, like, yeah, NPCs will be there too, but my point is we can build, like, we can buy land or just put bases down regardless. We haven't heard any updates on that in a while, but
No.
it'll be fun.
But yeah, you'll be able to put a bunch of different things down. Set up, if you want, like refueling stations, I imagine. Stuff like that.
Yep. Like, say you found a nice mining place and you want to set up a base there or something like that, or you just found a nice, like, canyon that you want to set up base or something, or you found some kind of canyon that you thought maybe we should set 2 little outposts there and you can have people fight over it.
I do wonder what kind of restrictions we'll have on where we can put bases. So, like, can we put it on the side of a cliff? Does it have to be a nice flat space? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I remember them talking about that initially, saying that's why a lot of the outposts have legs, essentially, is because of, like, uneven ground. So it might be, it could be something similar to, say, Halo's Forge mode, where, like, you'll highlight green or red depending on where you're putting it. Except maybe it'll give you more leniency because the outposts have legs. Like, for example, like, as long as, like, the legs are touching the ground, like, the other part of the legs can be completely covered in the ground, as long as the outpost itself is not, you know? So it can be, like, on a hillside or something. At least I'm just brainstorming here, but you know, we don't know yet. We haven't had any updates. I'm just using my I'm just making the gears go and having smoke billowing.
Using your imagination.
Yeah. I'm just hoping it'll set the room on fire because of it. The joke, smoke billowing up my... Anyway. Yeah, so... I mean, we don't know a lot of the details yet, unfortunately, because they're just trying to get the basic core mechanics in right now. Speaking of which, yeah, so we talked about survival, food, and drink. Did you guys notice that you actually have stat boosts when you drink certain things or eat, or
Pardon?
buffs? Did you notice that if depending on what you drink or eat, you actually get buffs and stat buffs? Or boosts.
I
didn't see that.
much. I didn't know those were actually in though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you read, depending on, if you go with the more info instead of quick buy, you actually get info card on what you're buying, and it'll tell you, like, how this affects you.
I did, however, find one semi-interesting piece of info. I was driving a rover on Microtech the other day because I had spawned there and the elevator glitched out from the going into the spaceport, so I had to go over to the commons area, go outside there from the garage, drive to the spaceport, and then go into the elevator there, which worked. But while I was driving, because of course it was a decent little drive, I was driving an Ursa rover, and I held down shift just because I was like, well, hey, why the hell not? You know, it'll make me feel better. And then I saw, hey, my speed increased, and the rover itself seemed like, at least some of the times, it kind of squatted a bit lower to the ground, you know, reducing its point of gravity there. I was like, I never knew that the Ursa, at least so it seems, had a boost function.
Does it?
I didn't. I
I
haven't
got rid of the
way-
boost
used
no
it
way
on
enough.
all the ground vehicles, but with
It did seem like it
hover bikes
increased
being
its
the
speed.
exception, of course, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Because I remember
I haven't.
the Cyclones used to have a boost function, which made them go ultra fast because those things are pretty fast already. But
Yup.
after a while, I noticed that the function wasn't there. But I'm just holding shift out of force of habit, I guess.
But yeah, like I said, I just found that out because I was just like, hey, what could it hurt to try this? Hey, it seems to be doing something. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you guys tried Microtech's moons yet? Just because I kind of want to focus.
have
on
we
them.
tried what? You kind of
I
broke
just
up
want
there.
to finish covering up, I guess, 3.9, move on to some to the upcoming patch features and stuff. Have you guys been to Microtech's moons yet? Because those are new locations. So.
Have we been to Microtech? Like I
The
said, you're
moons.
cutting out a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, you
the
are.
moons of Microtech. The
Oh, no, I haven't.
Uterp,
Not in the recent patch.
Cleo, and whatever. Okay, because I've been to Data and I went, and one of them is. Well, we actually recorded all of them, so you can go check my channel, Mando Merc, and see the footage of all that. But essentially, one of them is essentially you have like 2 minutes to live. And we were both in medium armor, and we had 2 minutes to live. So it's not good. The other one we had like a good hour to live, and we just started walking away from the Prowler and then back, and we were just completely covered in dust. The wind there is so strong that you're moving so slowly, and it's so cold that when Data took off his helmet when he got back in the ship, and I noticed his character model actually had blue lips.
Had what?
Like blue lips, like when you get really cold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That was a
do.
nice
I do
touch.
like that they're putting in those kind of effects there.
And the effect they have for when like the dust or ice is melting off your armor, it actually is pretty realistic. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just fading and melting away. And our vision was blurred when we took off our helmets, and when we got back in the ship, like it wasn't okay. Yeah, we're good, we're fine, we're inside the ship, but we're still recovering. It's not
Yeah.
instantaneous. So the survival mechanics are actually pretty. Because I remember dreading, like when I heard like survival mechanics are coming, I was dreading it. I'm like, let's just enjoy as much as we can before they get in. I hate the whole like you have to eat and drink to survive in games, but I'm loving it in this game. I don't know why.
Yeah,
they're doing
they
it
have
in
done
this
them
game.
pretty well.
It's
Now,
pretty-
have you ever gone like without food or drink just to see what'll happen?
Yes.
So what does happen? Because I have not.
Not by choice, but yes. So when you don't drink, your vision, you kind of get like this rainbow effect at the edge of your vision.
Okay.
I didn't really try movement. I was kind of suffering it a bit when we were on when we were rescuing Joseph from that prison break. The first time he was in prison. Remember when we were in the Ursa rover?
Yeah.
We landed at Carrick. So I was kind of suffering it then, because my hydration was getting low due to my lack of armor. I know, lack of proper protection in my armor. Trying to see if I have a screenshot here, but yeah, it essentially takes your vision gets a little weird, and movement, I guess, is a little slow. But food wise, I haven't tried that yet. Only with drink so far. But if you don't eat or drink, you die essentially. So, like if it gets down to 0, you're gonna die. And here's a screenshot from when we went to the.
But it doesn't actually like kill you or anything, right?
What?
So it doesn't actually kill you.
I mean, it does. Even if it's down to 0, you probably will die, but you probably have like seconds to live. Like to go and get something to drink before you die. I need to try it again this time in a controlled environment so I actually know what's going on.
Okay.
So something to test next time I'm in game. But also those MREs are awesome because you can stow food.
I got myself some. I was at Art Corp here, and I got myself some of they had like a cranberry bar there. I figured that'd be better than the MREs.
I found like chicken noodle ones at Grimhex.
Fancy.
Yeah, Grimhex has MREs in the gun shop, but they're kind of off to the side. I kept passing them, had no idea they were there until I looked hard enough. But yeah, the survival mechanics are actually really fun. I love the idea. Well, I mean, at least in terms of the food stuff, I was kind of dreading that. The whole idea were like different environments. I was excited for that, and I still am. It's so much fun. Like, oh no, this environment will kill me in like 2 minutes. That's so cool. Also, water does, well, bodies of liquid on planets and moons still kills you when you go waste or lower. I mean, waste or higher.
Rip.
As data tested.
Now, I did hear they were working on swimming mechanics and shit like that.
They are.
For a while.
It's on the Squadron 42 roadmap still. Again, we were saying earlier that hasn't been updated in a while, but I imagine we'll get it at some point because that does. I don't think that's a story. I don't think that's a gameplay mechanic that has to be held back for story reasons. I think they can just.
Yeah.
Come on, I want to.
Well, you never know. There might be a fucking underwater base you gotta infiltrate or some bullshit.
Yeah, but we should still be able to at least survive in water without dying in Star Citizen.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not Halo. Although Halo Infinite supposedly has it's rumored to have underwater level segments.
Oh, really?
Rumored, but
okay. Well, that'll be interesting to see.
I would love to have underwater.
Yeah,
segments,
that'd be awesome.
especially since supposedly they wanted to do that in Halo 2, but then they just opted for that, like that cutscene where the Gravemind pulls you down. There's gonna be a whole segment with like a Forerunner tank and all that, but that was cut. I don't think it even made it into the game. I think they'll just cut concept stuff. But anyway, back to Star Citizen. So upcoming patch features, we've got gameplay. We got a mission giver coming up in 3.10.
Was that Eddie Parr?
Eddie Parr, yeah, for Microtech. So on Microtech, we're gonna have a mission giver there.
Not to mention the rest of the shops.
This will be our first New Babbage mission giver, right?
Yep. Although it kind of does think though in that with Microtech, we had one patch that got us the planet. Another patch got us
the moons and the
spaceport. Another patch got us the mission given the rest of the
and the shops. That's right. New Babbage is missing a ton of shops right now.
Yep, which right now we really don't have.
I mean, it does have a lot of shops at the moment. It
has a few. In terms of usable ones, it only has a few.
Oh, are they all closed off right now?
They
haven't.
They're either closed off or it just shows like a door there. Like there's not actually anything there.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Like I remember
I've only been to the ship component shop, which is very nice.
There was one place I found that actually did sell some armor. It was, if I remember right, there was a I want to say it was a Gray Cat, like the Gray Cat company. They had a terminal there, and they were actually selling some armor pieces there. Because I was like, hey, where's the new Babbage armor? Where's the Microtech armor sets and clothing sets here? Because those aren't in yet until the shops are in. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a. I don't know. It's clearly taking them a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just sad to see that you have a single planet or a single system that took three patches to get it.
Yeah, for 3.10 we have Microtech New Babbage shop editions and Grimhex improvements, which look pretty interesting.
Now, that being said, one thing to bear in mind too is Microtech in the lore is the home planet for the Moby-Glass tool, the in-game tool that we use to access our inventory and all our other shit here. So we
Well,
might,
Microtech makes the Moby-Glass, yeah.
yes. So we might. It's not infeasible. See some amount of customization for our Moby-Glass. So maybe just being able to change like the color of it, maybe some like texture edits, that kind of shit. I think that might be kind of cool to see.
I would love to at least be able to customize the default color of the Moby-Glass. That'd be awesome.
And one thing I want to see too, and hopefully we will get sooner rather than later. They did confirm it as a thing, just not when we'll see it. But I want the option to go and have Moby-Glass contact lenses or glasses. Just because right
I
now,
think they
as
did.
it is,
They did say the glasses, like I'm sure you've seen them. They were
yeah, the glass that
subscriber
they
free
have
for a
for
while, and I think
subscribers.
you can buy them just regularly now. That those glasses do like link up to your Moby-Glass, so you don't necessarily. I mean, I think the animation's still there, obviously, because it's default. But I mean, in lore, those glasses link up to your Moby-Glass and effectively serve as a
Yeah.
like
So,
Moby-Glass glasses. So
because just as it is, especially if you're doing things, either you're walking around in like cities or you're eating or drinking, that means
Yeah.
you take your helmet off. And you take your helmet off, well, there goes your in-game chat, your detailed HUD, all that kind of stuff. So it would just be nice to be able to wear complete city outfits while still being able to maintain your information links.
yeah, especially because the big thing is the chat does go away when you take off your helmet. The in-game chat does go away.
So I'm
But
hoping
as
we
for
get
the
those.
mission
I
giver-
don't think we'll get those with 310, but hopefully
If we
sometime.
do, it won't be anytime soon.
Yeah.
As for the mission giver, Eddie Parr, I don't even. What type of missions do you guys think that is? Have they said yet?
I think I heard they're like they're like generally smuggling missions. I think I heard.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Because there's like some strict import export stuff, and he helps people acquire things.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that.
Okay.
So I think it was mostly like smuggling, or at least that was the main.
All right. We're also
Now,
getting
wait,
a-
wasn't there
yeah.
supposed to be a pair of mission givers? Or was I thinking something else?
Yes, but I think those aren't. Is Eddie Parr supposed to be part of that pair?
I don't remember offhand.
I don't know either.
I do know we were supposed to be getting soon, TM, some mission givers that was a pair of them. And that
Yeah, I
I'm thinking
think
of
those were the
I'm thinking
Crusader
of
ones, no?
Crusader.
Yeah, okay. One of them was Crusader Security, and another one was also Crusader
Well,
Security.
they were a pair of partners, and they were doing like bounty hunting missions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's essentially the mission, like physical versions of the names that we have on all the bounty hunting contracts.
Yeah.
Like whoever's issuing them to us in game, like NPC wise.
Yeah.
Like where it always says like Crusader Industries, Crusader Security, whatever, something, but essentially like Dave Batista or something like that. Obviously, it's not the name. It's
Well, and
Dave
bear in mind too, with
Foster
the
or something.
Crusader system here, as I understand the lore of it, it's essentially a test bed for allowing, because in the Crusader system, the corporations and companies really, because you have Person Dynamics, ArtCorp, Microtech, they kind of hold the main sway there, as opposed to the UEE in general. And as I understand it, it's meant to be a test bed for that kind of setup.
Right. So pretty much the way it works in Stanton system, for anyone who doesn't know, is Stanton 1 is Hurston, owned by the Hurston Dynamic Corporation. They're a weapons manufacturer. They make WMDs, ship weapons, and then you have Stanton 2, which is Crusader, owned by the Crusader Industries, and they make ships. They have a dry dock in the Crusader gas giant. They're pretty much like the main. I guess you can say they're the capital of the system.
Hey, Merc, are you on push to talk?
I'm not.
You're cutting it out.
Just because, yeah, it's like you sound like you're like, you know, that, da. Like you're
sorry.
kind of doing that.
I mean,
well, I'm just
shouldn't,
worried
I
too
shouldn't
about
be on the recording software
recording.
though, so that's all that matters. But yeah. So Crusader is the I guess it's like the impromptu capital of Stanton, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Stanton 3, which is ArcCorp, which is like the commercial hub, like the commercial capital. And then you have Stanton 4, which is Microtech, owned by Microtech.
Yep.
And so yeah, each planet's owned by a mega corporation in the game. They each bought the planet because the Stanton system is a UAE system that was bought out by corporations, each corporation owning their own planet and the respective moons. And Crusader Industries is kind of like the biggest main law enforcement agency in the area.
Yeah.
The UAE Advocacy does have some like patrols here and there, but it's very scarce. The UAE Advocacy is like the galactic police force of the UAE.
Yeah, you're more looking for like police.
But for the most part, each planet, like Hurston has Hurston Security. ArcCorp has a third-party security firm doing their law enforcement, Blackjack Security. And Microtech, I think, also does it in-house, I believe. They have their
Microtech does theirs directly, I believe.
So, essentially, ArcCorp's the only one that outsources, but they each do their own, so laws are going to be very different from planet to planet. More or less. Like, for example, smuggling, say, I think one of the controlled substances is legal in one area, but illegal in another.
Like Widow or something.
Widow, and then there's one of the ones that have a really long name that I can't remember.
So, like, I remember one of the lore stories they put out was a guy who was hired to bring some cargo over to Hurston, and it turns out it contained Widow, and so the authorities were after him, and he was like, "Ah, shit, it was some kind of mix-up or something." They don't really care to listen. They're just going for him. He gets cornered and decides long story short, he had like an X in the area. He goes and gets with his ex, and he's like, "Here, you turn me in. You can use the reward money. I'll be in jail for a little bit. I can get out. Everything will work out here." And then so he goes and gets captured there. And then her security goes, and again, at this point, all he's really been accused of is smuggling this drug in. Her security go, they drive him around a bit. He has like a bag over his head. Pop the bag off, and he's like, "Wait a minute, this isn't prison." They're like, "Yeah, they've been getting full." Blam! And they just fucking executed him.
Oh,
like, all this guy has been accused of is smuggling.
Let's
and
just say
security's just like, eh.
Hurston Security will shoot first and ask questions never.
So yeah, there's Widow, and then there's Altrucia toxin.
That's it.
Which is created chemically by processing the pollen of the revenant tree. Common effects ingesting smoking. Yeah.
Which one is the drug that is shaped like it's a red pellet with little smiley faces on it? Because keep in mind, all these drugs are physically in game. We can't actually use them yet, but they are all physically in game, and one of them is a little red tablet with a smiley face on it.
We can't use them yet.
Yes, that is an operative word there. We can use them eventually.
Just imagine how badly your character is going to be flying if they're tweaked up on a Widow addiction.
Or neon, which is the red with the smiley faces.
Is that it, neon?
Yeah, neon. Slightly hallucinogenic.
I wonder what kind of effects you're going to be seeing there.
Oh, so here, I'll read them to you.
I'm willing to experiment just to see what type of visual effects we get.
So the Altrucia toxin common effects include relaxing of muscles, sensory enhancement, and lethargy. Heavy usage can cause staining of tongue. Slam targets the user's nervous system, acting as a fear inhibitor and painkiller.
Use that during combat missions.
Yeah. Etham is most involved people so engrossed in a task that they neglect to eat, sleep, or take care of other bodily functions. So
sounds like something that Hurston would use on their slaves. I mean, workers.
And then
beloved workers.
And then Widow is just an opiate, which.
Yeah, what's awesome is there is a Widow dealer in the game right now who's also a user. He's at Grimhex.
So apparently,
Clovis
it actually extensive
Clovis,
use stains the veins black.
Yeah, and you can see that if you go to Grimhex, when you get down to the main area in the elevator, depending on which elevator you're on, either take an immediate left or right. You go down like this broken hallway, you go all the way downstairs, and you'll meet this guy called Wallace Klim, and he's a Widow dealer, and he's also a user because his veins are all black, and he's got these.
Yeah, you're cutting out heavy there.
Yeah.
We're getting like one word in 5.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about us, just for the recording.
Here, let me switch the Discord server. Did that work? Here, talk now.
Why is my camera thing crossed out? All of a sudden.
Oh, I changed the Discord server to see if that would stop lagging your voice, like the server we're using for the.
It's not changing it, is it?
No.
I mean, he hasn't cut out yet since you said it. You switched it there, so.
All right. Well, I mean, the Discord. What you guys are hearing is probably not what's going on with the recording software, at least. So at least that.
No, we can hear you now.
They should be able to hear me there. So. Yeah,
but you're saying about there's the Widow user there?
Yeah, Wallace Klim, the mission giver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clearly a Widow user.
Well, that'll be
so supposedly in 3.10 or 3.11, I forget which, they're doing a ship HUD rework. Which
they said that'll be iterated over several patches with the first.
Okay. So that's probably when they're starting it. All right.
Yep.
Body dragging, we were talking about earlier. High speed combat. And the image they had was for quantum travel. So that reminds me. You managed to do quantum linking where. So they fixed quantum linking, so now you actually see the other person.
Yes,
when
they're actually traveling with you. You aren't both jumping at the same point, but individually, you are both jumping together, able to see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like quantum traveling in your own little tunnels. You're actually in the same tunnel together. And what's awesome about the screenshot you took is you're actually showing it off with an alien ship and a human ship, which have 2 different quantum travel effects, and you can see that.
Which are both.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that yet.
It's in the screenshots channel on our Discord, but yeah, I have it on the stream.
You want to put that screenshot up so that the people who watch the video can see?
Yeah, it's on the stream right now.
Okay. No, I actually just had a thought with that. I wonder if now, obviously, we know down the line, ship-to-ship docking will be a thing. Not only for ships like the Caterpillar with its command module to be able to dock and undock that, Argo for like the whole series and yada yada, but also to just dock one various ship to another. At least in some cases, they haven't quite said how they want to do that yet. But I was just thinking, I wonder if let's say if I have, for example, 2 freelancers, and they're both connected on their little docking collar there to each other. I wonder then if one of them goes and quantum jumps, will that just break them apart, or can you go and do a tandem jump like that? Because, like, for example, hey, I just got hit by a bunch of pirates. My buddies in the area, they managed to go and damage my quantum engine. I can't jump now because that's fucked up. I can't resolve a good path there. If I try to jump, it would just destroy me. But my buddy comes in, docks up to my ship, uses his ship to go and do that, and he's just pulling me along. Now, is that a thing that'll be possible?
That'll be interesting.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it is possible,
there is the SRV ship.
Well, yes, but you know, if my buddy's in the area and I'm like, I just want to get out of here, man. You know, just try to return to base and get repaired. You know, at an actual facility rather than wait for someone to come out to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool.
I guess. I guess it depends if you have a what's your face on or not a tractor beam on your ship.
Well, I wasn't even taking tractor beam. Although tractor beam would be a nice function too if you could do that. But to be honest, I would assume the way tractor beams will work, and again, we don't know. They haven't really talked about it in a very long time. But I would assume with tractor beams it'll work where it's either if I want to move something with the tractor beam, it has to weigh less than my own ship. Otherwise, I mean, obviously, of course, if we're in space, we aren't really dealing with friction. But if I am in, let's say, a Cutlass Black, and I'm trying to move a Carrack with a tractor beam, that's not going to end up too well for me there.
No.
I don't have the mass to be able to really move that too well.
Well,
and what if you have like 10 Cutlass Blacks?
I mean, then
20 Cutlass Blacks. Okay.
I mean, if you had like 40 of them, sure, you might be able to go and push and pull the thing along. And I wouldn't necessarily see any huge issue with coding that in, you know, in terms of gameplay wise, why that shouldn't work. But you know, like I said, if I have a ship of equal size there, I'm gonna move essentially because now they're working together. I'm gonna be moving half as effectively in general.
Right.
Yeah.
At best.
Okay, so
well, and then that brings up the question: if you can get two ships together, can you make them go faster?
I mean, no, I would say just because again, it's not in that scenario, it's overcoming one being damaged, and in fact, I would say it would probably be slower. But I would say, in general, you would only be able to go as fast as
your engine,
whatever it already does.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, say you have a bigger engine, right? Will I be able to use you dock onto me, right, and say,
if, for example, and again, for the sake of argument, we're going to say again, same ship here. So let's say we both have freelancers. You have a stock quantum drive. I have a fucking souped up motherfucking awesome one here.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's at least plausible that it might split the difference in some way there.
Well, I don't even mean for quantum. I mean just like flying around. Say like you have a bigger engine, right?
No, I would not see that happening. Just because I mean, in atmosphere, obviously you have atmospheric issues there.
Yeah.
In terms of space flight, you still have, you know, sure you've got, and again we're assuming it's the same ship. Otherwise, it's not tandem.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a parasite. Yeah.
But you know, so let's say again we have two freelancers. Sure, you've got double the engines in whatever direction you want to fly. Assuming you know we'll assume they're like top to top, but both facing the same direction here. You've got double the thrusters. You also still have double the mass.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like if they have the same engine. Like say for example, a scenario happens where we're both flying the freelancer, right? And say you have a souped up freelancer and I have a stock freelancer, right? Like your engine is way better, and we get somebody comes and I'm not able to get away when you are. If you dock, would we be able to go faster, right?
I mean, if it was
not like quantum, but
I have upgrades on my ship. It depends. In my opinion, it would depend entirely on how it applies those upgrades. If nothing else, I don't necessarily see a problem with it in that case. Kind of again splitting the difference. So it's like, let's say, you know, you can go, we'll just say 1,000 meters a second.
Yeah.
I can go
1,500.
1,200 meters a second,
Yeah.
or I can go 1,500 meters a second. Just for the sake of the math. Here.
Yeah.
I dock to you, and together we can now go 1,250.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I wouldn't see necessarily anything wrong with that, at least on a provisional basis. But actually getting that to work,
Yeah.
it'll
That's another
either
story.
it depends entirely how they do the code for the docking, because it'll either A, just work, or B, be a nightmare of code.
Well, and I guess the other
possibly
thing is that it also
Okay, Tom.
the engine would be applying force at different places too, so kind of.
Well, and it depends too. Like I said, for the sake of simplistic argument, we were of course saying, hey, it's the same ship there. What happens if you, for example, I have a Carrack, you have a Freelancer. I start thrusting one direction. You're coming along for the ride. It doesn't matter where you're putting your thrusters at. You're getting dragged along. So, obviously, as the ships are mismatched more and more, it's going to matter less and less with that additional thruster
mass.
speed.
And yeah.
Now that being said, again on a flip side, for example, let's say you have a Carrack that was shot up, disabled. It's doing a Flying Dutchman. It's just flying away there. It has no thrusters of its own. And I go and take, let's say again, a Freelancer here, dock up to its docking port there, and then I just let my inertial dampeners go and kick in and slowly go and drag the thing to a halt there. I don't see, necessarily speaking, I don't see any issue with that, or even just if you have a tractor beam. You attach a tractor beam, whereas you're like, oh shit, getting dragged along, and then just let your thrusters kind of do their thing and very gradually slow you down to a stop there. I don't see anything wrong with that. Just getting that code in, that's going to take some work.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I'm interested to see how they do towing in general.
Yeah, I mean, if there's another game I played called Space Engineers. Essentially, it's a block-based ship and station building. So it's kind of like Minecraft, but with way better graphics and some more advanced coding for things like room pressurization with oxygen and shit like that.
Yeah.
And one of the things you can do is with landing gear, magnetic. So let's say, for example, my buddy's gets shot up or something, and he's flying away. I can go and fly over to him, try to match as best I can, as long as I get one of the landing gears locked on that ship there without destroying it in the process. I go and just activate my inertial dampeners, let them turn on, and my thrusters are going. It doesn't matter how big the other ship is and how small mine is. It'll eventually slow it down, and then of course if I have gyros too, it'll go and stop any like rotational movement, that kind of stuff there. So I would definitely like to see something like that. That'd be really interesting, but just how it'll be implemented just depends how the coding goes there on the back end for them. But it is definitely something I would love to see.
Yep. Sorry, I had to go take care of my cat who's sick.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, that's. So I caught what you guys were saying though. So
we were talking about like tractor beams, engines, docking with ships.
Well, and then that's the other thing is with say like you have a tractor beam and you're scavenging, right? That'll have mass too. So I guess it'll depend how much you're gonna have to scavenge very, very specifically, so you're not just picking up a bunch of garbage and losing power.
Salvage, that's a great segue to move, because we just got well, I mean, it came out yesterday, but I only saw it today. The Calling All Devs new episode of Calling All Devs about salvage gameplay.
Yes.
And I have the notes that they gave here. So salvage.
And before anyone gets too happy, Oh no, there's like 5 major things that have to be done for salvage, and they're still working on number 1 here. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
So
still a ways off.
don't let your enthusiasm get the better of you right now. Just be
trust me, I've almost
cautiously optimistic. I think is the best way to go
Yeah.
about salvage gameplay right now in Star Citizen because it's
I've almost taken the plunge on the
constantly being
vulture,
pushed
and
back, and they still have to start. So
I actually do have a vulture. Now, thankfully, right now its loaner is the prospector.
Ooh,
So
Oh,
at the
okay.
very least, I can still make a decent amount of money there.
yeah.
that's actually a good loaner. Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting one, but like, yeah, the salvage gameplay is so far away. I'm not even sure if it's.
I'm broke, so I can't get one.
Yeah,
even if I
that's
wanted
the
to.
other thing too.
If it turns out I don't like it, I'll just melt it and grab something
Yeah.
else.
Alright, so what? The salvage roadmap here, we got resource generation and item control, physicalized components, hull scraping, when do we start, ensure the tech is in place to continue, and then salvage will start as power mapping, physicalized components, and hull scraping. So, essentially, they were going into hull, I remember hull scraping is, I was half paying attention.
So the way they explained it in the video was they explained it as like repairs like applying Mando, and to be honest, I have no idea what Mando is. I assume it's some kind of a like structural something or other. But in terms of like cars, it's like applying Bondo and then salvage hole scraping is like removing it. So essentially, it's just like, hey, there's a hole here, or this thing. Like if you had a car where things like half rusted off,
Yeah.
your repair function would be to go and be applying more material to go in and stabilize that point, and then salvage would be removing it and seeing what's still usable there, and then storing that usable material there. But they were talking so that, and what channel was the stuff in? The salvage notes.
It should be in the public announcements or, public
Okay.
announcements.
We still have way too many channel.
Yeah.
It's not in public announcements. Anyway,
Let me get the calling all devs thing from the RSI website and put it on screen share.
yeah. But so hole scraping is just like the very first part of salvage gameplay. You then also have removing and of course reutilizing then components. So these are things like your shield generators, power generators, your coolers, stuff like that. You then also have aspects which they called the maw, which, from what I understood with that, that's actively taking like an entire ship and just like, once everything else has been
Swallowing it.
removed from it, and just fucking scrapping that thing down. And then what was the fourth aspect? There was a fourth aspect too. What was the fourth aspect?
The fourth
It
aspect
was
is so
siphon.
you said the model.
Siphoning things like oxygen,
siphoning.
water, data, all the more usable stuff that is in the direct component there. Stuff that would have been stored on the ship itself.
Here's a quote here: power mapping to ensure that when you remove a component, the corresponding ship functions and are directly affected. You got siphoning needs the room system and physicalized components. More in-depth system to better break ships up into smaller, more consumable pieces. They're talking about here's tech in progress that they have, so this is stuff that they actually have in progress. Is this tech in progress? Yeah, this is the stuff we have in game right now, right? Or some of it is, at least. Like prop teams are working on components. We have that in some ships. Tons have already been made, as they. Okay, so yeah, we do. Any vehicle that has been released in the last 2 years or so has predetermined component rooms for quick integration. Ships like the Carrack have actual components, but because of a current glitch, the components are outside the ship, which doesn't allow direct interactions. The fix is scheduled for next quarter. Power explanation, resource generation, and item control allow components to produce what other components need, like power, heat, etc. The ships are going to become way more alive because once power, it just says once power, you can't generate fuel, and if you don't have fuel, you can't generate power. You don't have power, you don't have CPU, you can't have shields, power. So pretty much you need power to do this, or otherwise you can't do that. If you don't have that, you can't do this stuff. So that kind of like,
yeah,
you know, you need fuel for power, you need power to do this, and so it's essentially you need to have your ship running, you need to keep it maintained. And then they're talking about cascade failures and rerouting power. So power is a big thing that they need to get in game, like in power gameplay and all the gameplay that's required for, like, you know, power management in your ship.
Now, were they saying with that on the calling all devs there? Was that the system that we were talking about? It'll be able to expand to do things like, you know, shield generators, or if you have, for example, life support, and it would expand to have that life support, you know, how much it can generate and all that stuff. Because I know it was the not the very last guy you talked, the guy who was on there twice, but before him in the video. So the second to last guy you talked with the beard. Yeah, him. He was the one talking about that system there. I think that was what they were working on now when they mean power.
What are we calling? Designer extraordinaire from Frankfurt. I don't know. Dan, how you doing, man?
We're doing really good. Working from home, so
yeah,
it's fun.
Aren't we all? All right, so we're talking salvage today. We've talked to Todd. He's given us kind of the overview. We've talked to John, who's talked a bit about the physicalized components and ships and stuff. And now we're talking to you about a power. But I have a feeling from talking to you before that what we're going to talk about is more than just power. What are you working on right now?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just power. So when we started building our ships and building our environments, we started building with what we call the pipe system. And this system, while it did its job pretty well, it's already a bit old, and we're only using it right now for limited things. What we're trying to build is a system that encompasses all the resource generation and how you control items. And so when we're talking resource generation, I'm talking power, I'm talking CPU, I'm talking fuel, I'm talking coolant, I'm talking any type of other resource that we'll have in the future, ammo and all this stuff. So we're trying to build stuff in one component that rules them all. There's like any item will have that component and knows how to use any resource it needs and how to generate other resources that other items might need, or transfer them from one resource to another and to generate heat and all this stuff. So it's all going to be built into one place rather than having multiple different systems that handle it differently. So it keeps stuff cleaner. It allows us to work faster, and at the same time we're going to try to make this work a lot better with what you see is what you get editor, so people can actually link all of these connections for resources in the actual visual editor of the ship, rather than making it into a dry XML database somewhere, or in a data tool, which is very hard to imagine how the thing will actually function. So all of this stuff is gonna be.
So that's essentially the system there that we were talking about there. So now that's what they actually mean when they say. That's what they actually mean when they say power, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we just started from there, man.
So like,
everyone's working on it.
Yeah, energy production.
Yeah. So not just energy production, but how everything uses energy, talking back to that system. So if something gets removed, the system knows about that. So that being said, I'm thinking we might have salvage by end of next year, but that's maybe mid next year for like a tier 0 kind of thing. But like how we first had with mining.
Yeah. I don't think it would be
hole scraping.
I don't think it'd be too optimistic to say by the end of next year, but it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah.
And
You know, keep the
Just a lot of backhand.
keep the salvage jokes running, citizens. I've been seeing a lot of them ever since they deleted it again. So.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited for obviously more gameplay aspects, so they can add in more of the ships that use them.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping we do just start getting some more of the gameplay loops in there. And one thing I really want to see too, I want to see some darn multi-stage missions here. Because we've been getting them teased over and over again at sitcoms. But what we actually have, like at best, what we have for multi-stage missions is you go to a down satellite and then you go to a bunker afterwards with it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, it's not. The other thing, I guess, though, that we didn't talk about is the fact that they're adding trading in, which will be really, really good for making player missions, right? Like, hey, I want to pay you to go get this guy. I want to pay you to.
Credits.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Cam and I have been talking about this.
Well, in the future,
forever.
of course, not right now, but.
Yeah,
well,
it's so nice to hear them talk about it though, because we've been talking about it forever, and now they're talking about it.
Well, it sounds like is that coming in 310, or is that coming 311?
That's I think 310. The just the base where.
Yeah, just the base level, but that alone is going to be so.
It'll be so great. As we always say, like just the ability to trade in credits invites just player created jobs.
Because among other things, it's like, hey, I'm trying to escape from prison. Can anyone pick me up? Sure, I can. How much are you going to pay me?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But right now, I don't think
I'll pay you half now, and then also I'll pay you half now and half when you got me to Grim Hex.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hey, I have 258 SMGs. You want some?
Yeah, really.
No, that was not a random number off the top of my head. I genuinely have 258 SMGs in my inventory. Don't judge.
But one thing too that also was really interesting, I think, from when they talked about the inventory trading and stuff like that, was that they also wanted to have a kind of a public drop off for cargo and commodities that players themselves can use to go and have stuff to where, let's say, for example, I want some stuff delivered to somewhere else. I don't know if it's necessarily to just another person, if it's only to just another location, but either way, I essentially just say I need this stuff somewhere else. I then go and get the stuff, put it in a publicly accessible area on a special cargo grid there, saying, "Hey, I want this stuff moved over here. Here's what I'm paying." And then other players can then go and be like, hey, yeah, I'll do that. They then go and grab the item, deliver it, and then get the money. So essentially a system built in for that. And they were talking about doing that like within like another patch or two of the trading app. So that to me, that sounds just really, really cool because and I believe they were talking about too, being able to do stuff like weapons, like armor, stuff like that, so that we could finally be trading that. I think that is a really, really, really cool feature because, among other things, it's getting the player invested in other player activities there, as opposed to for so many of these missions, it's all just based off of NPCs or just kind of generic shit. But this is actually stuff like, hey, I actually need something done here. Oh yeah, well, I can do that for you. Great, and then
or even like when you think about it, even you could do trading. What we were talking about, if say you have some stuff, right? And we don't want to trade on the ground, say it's illegal stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we dock out in space and we trade cargo that way.
Exactly.
Right.
Like say you have like I just looted that that mission where you have like the 355 boxes of drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Say you like, okay, I looted all these drugs. I'll trade them with you. You have the credits, I have the drugs.
Yeah.
Or for example, I have all those weapons. Like I can open up my little weapon shop somewhere. I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
The possibilities are pretty much the limitations of your own imagination. That's what I like about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you think you can do to have other players give you money for? And if you think you can do it, try it.
It also creates a player economy over a, just the economy that they implement
static
too, right?
game economy, exactly. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say static, but the default one. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. Quantum. Isn't that what Tony Z called it? Quantum.
Yep. But
yeah.
Definitely something to look forward to.
The what?
There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to, and that's the beauty of this game. It's all a lot of it's far away, but a lot of it's also really close. And I mean, I've been enjoying the gameplay so far. I mean, yeah, I'm not, as we've stated earlier, I'm not able to get into the game this past few weeks. But honestly, I haven't really had that much time to get into the game this past week anyway, so I'm not exactly, like, this week I probably wouldn't have been able to play, aside from that one night we tried, I wasn't really able to play this week anyways, so
yeah,
not really that big of an issue for me.
One thing too that's interesting that we haven't talked about was the addition of paints now.
We talked about it a little last month.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you gave us the little
GIF, yeah,
where we were playing, where it showed.
Yeah. Well, that was before. That was before we.
Oh right, but now they actually made a thing about it. Here, let me find that announcement. Because they have.
So now they've officially made at least some preset paints that you can just apply. Now, as of right now, those are only available in the cash shop. However, they have said that you will be able to be earning and purchasing these in game. So I'm hoping we can see some of things where like
paints and you.
Yes, that is.
And I think I have images of the default paints, that the presets in. Let me just get them right here.
That's another thing that I'm pretty big on, ship customization. I can't wait till they add in ship license plates, like where you can actually have your ship, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, as you customize there.
Yeah, your ship is your ship. It's not just another Avenger Titan. It's
I want that cat on board bumper sticker that they have on the, on my apartment in Arcourt. Also, I'm just gonna start off with the Star Kitten Javelin. You can't.
Oh yeah, the Star Kitten. I seen it.
The Star Kitten Javelin.
Note: this is player made. It has not been confirmed.
It is not real.
I would not put it past them to do it.
I mean, they'll probably make it at some point, but I just find it hilarious.
And if nothing else, depending on how deep we can go on player customization.
These are the real ones. So this is the freelancer. This is the basic freelancer here. We got a jet black, which is looking brilliantly nice.
But the real question is,
and then we got a
in
blue
game,
yellow.
How long is it going to take to paint a javelin? You know,
about
3 months. I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, if it's anything like the guys working on the on a building here in New York, it's going to be like 3 years. So.
Yeah.
Then again, we have spaceships to do some of that.
Which is funny because it takes like an actual year and a half for them to build the building, but then it to actually paint stuff, it's like it'll take 3 years. So here's the freelancer in jet black, which probably my favorite freelancer skin ever, and I loved the green freelancer mist color.
There was a really good picture I seen where it showed the different freelancer skins in like light and then without a lot of light deprived, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find them.
Send me like a link or something if you can. I'll try to put it up. And here is, I don't even know what the next photo is going to be. Okay, we got the Auroras. I'm liking the one in the middle, mainly because it's org colors, or our org colors, but I do like the Squadron 42 green and yellow over there, on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to like the Squadron 42 logo, and then you got like the kind of weird one on the left. What do we got next? Because I don't remember the order. Oh, that's an old photo here. We got the Avenger skins. The Avenger skins, me personally, I like the just black and white Avenger. Because the Avenger reminds me of a space shuttle. I kind of like that. And these skins, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not impressed with them. Maybe in the future they'll make better Avenger skins, but the presets here are, they're okay.
Well, I mean, then again, we've seen plenty of examples of other ones out there, and with some of the skins too, I'm hoping that one, we just have the ability to just apply like
There's
just
the image.
generic colors
Alright.
for like a primary, secondary, tertiary, something like that would be great. But I would bet too that with some paint jobs, they might be unlocked through in-game activities. So things like, for example, we've seen that there was a Avenger advocacy skin that they showed off a couple years back. Well, hey, if I work for the advocacy, they might go and give me an option of, hey, we're authorizing you to use our colors, to essentially show yourself as a representative of us to a degree. I think that I would see that as being pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool if you could, depending on an organization, and even if they had certain certain paint jobs where you as an organization could have that like as your official colors, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh, you see somebody flying say a freelancer or whatever, and you see the colors, you immediately know what organization they belong to.
Yeah, it's like purple and bright green. Oh, it's this one trading org that's real big.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I do hope we get the ability, not just skin-wise, but actual custom. I mean, obviously the best would be full customization. So it's like I could add little pictographs, like if there was a built-in, like picture editor thing, kind of like how, let's say, for example, like in Halo, how you can add different layers based on presets, or like Call of Duty has like, hey, here's some shapes, you can move them, rotate them, scale them, that kind of shit. Obviously, some stuff people will get stupid with it, but that's what the mods are for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, that'd be really cool if we were able to, for example, our org symbol there, or icon, I guess, on a ship, right?
Yeah,
Logo.
Exactly. Get that on the side.
Cameron, we've been talking about that for a while too. Like, we would love to actually be able to put the org logo on ships or some kind of icon or something.
Yeah.
And that Avenger, the Avenger in the center there on the stream, you can see that's kind of our org colors already. The black and blue with blue yellow.
Oh yeah, the.
But we will see.
Sorry, I'm just saving those images so that I can have them show up on the stream that you sent me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, why isn't it not showing the next image? That's not good.
But yeah, I mean...
I'm trying to get to the next image here on the little slide. And it's not working because... we are experiencing some technical difficulties.
Quick, play the elevator music.
Alright. Alright, okay, I have constellation image up now? Okay. So yeah, so here's the constellation. The blue... Oh, I like the green one. I don't know if you guys seen the constellation image.
No, I didn't.
I think all the images I took, there were the ones that were in the photograph channel in our Discord. So.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, I will say that green Connie. Perfect. The only thing I would make it better.
I got the slide working again. Okay, so the next image was supposed to be the arrows, and I gotta say those arrows are. I'm digging the Halo 3 green arrow and the Halo 2 green arrow.
Yeah.
They're both really good. I mean, the gray ones are cool too, but I'm digging the green. And we got the camo Valkyrie.
Only thing that would make it better is if that glass was tinted, which we do know from seeing the Carrack. Well, we do know from the Carrack they can tint it, so.
I'm pretty certain.
So it's definitely an option.
And then here's the constellation. And then the retaliators. I love that black and blue retaliator in the center. It just looks so nice. Because I never thought, like, the retaliator always looked like such a bland ship with that, like, matte
To be
black
fair, I like
with
the
red.
original retaliator paint job. I always found it to be.
Oh, I love the black and red. It just the very like dirty look it had just doesn't work for it. But
Now, how about-
that blue looks so nice with the bright yellow. I love that. The pop.
Now, how about the Starfare with the black? That looks.
That
sharp.
looks. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that looks good.
Especially
I have
from
to say, the
mist
mist ships in black look really good.
I don't even mind. I like the blue camo there too for it.
Yeah, the blue camo looks pretty good. I like the black stripe it has. And like the black mouth part almost.
Mm-hmm.
The black.
Yeah, it does look nice.
But why is it all the mist ships in black look really good? I guess it's because it's like that jet black too.
Yeah, I think it's a type of black. I will say the Avenger skins, not digging it as much.
They're not the best. I don't mind the middle. I mean, it's okay.
It's okay.
I don't like the wingtips yellow. They're kind of weird.
But I know we'll have more down the line. Now here's a thought. I actually just thought of this. It would be interesting, I think really, really cool if you had as one example for ship customization. It'd be really cool if you had skins for ships. So that would be like, for example, with the Avenger, like the one on the left with that camo pattern.
Yeah.
You would apply a skin. Once the skin has been applied, you can then go and customize the colors of of that skin as you want. So essentially, it's like, hey, here is your tiger camo skin, or digi camo, or whatever the design is. But the colors of it, you get to customize. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I definitely like the ability to choose whether I'm doing digi camo or traditional camo or that weird like angular camo, especially since depending on, like, for example, if I had the Valkyrie, I want the traditional camo on that thing. It just looks so nice.
Well, and I'm sure with
also, I have I'm using those images you sent me with the freelancer and different lightings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that looks really. Those are all the max, aren't they? Yeah, that's the max. Yeah.
But I just think that kind of an option would go without putting too much of a stress on their end there. I think it would go and be having a lot of options for customization.
Wow, okay.
Well, what would be really cool is if they designed like actual skins, so it looked like because you know how some certain ships are painted to hide, right? Like with camos.
Yeah.
If they did that with the different ships, that would be
Remember-
insane.
Well, I mean, the Saber Comet is meant to blend in with space.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
people have forgotten about the Saber Comet. So, yeah, here's the all the Valkyries in different lightings. And that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's not the best resolution on these images, but whatever.
No.
Hey, you gave them to me.
it's what I could find with all them in there.
Yeah. And what's the next one? All the arrows. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That Halo 2 and Halo 3 green are really nice,
Mm-hmm.
especially in like in space and in atmospheric lighting. Mainly because at like that dusk/dawn lighting, you can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, no, it's
Between any
the
of them.
less lighting. It's going to be more and more same.
But one thing though, I do hope we also get is the ability to tint the glass on ships.
Yes.
It's from that GIF you sent us last month. It looked like you could, because I remember seeing that Saber's glass changing from like red to clear to blue at one point. So.
Oh, and I mean they
know
showed it
that-
off too
We
in
know
game with the
that
carrot.
the Saber
so.
Comet has blue tinted glass. The classic Saber
Yep.
has red, and the Saber Raven has yellow. I want to say, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure offhand.
I haven't flown that thing in a while. I'm pretty sure it has tinted glass though. I just can't remember what color. Well, I know my Pisces has red tinted glass, so. And my Cutlass Black has black tinted glass.
Yep.
So tinted glass clearly is not defined
Yeah.
as like, well, it's either red or it's
Raven
black
is yellow.
or. No, I'm pretty sure they have the intention of us having different colors, and we'll probably be able to customize, like everything. In terms of like, well, we can customize the glass color, we can customize the primary color, secondary color, whatever.
So yeah, you were right. The Raven is yellow.
It is yellow? Okay. I wasn't sure. I just remember it. I was pretty sure it's yellow. Last time I flew it was like 3.7, I'm pretty sure. 3.7 or 3.6, I think.
A while ago.
Maybe, yeah, over a year ago.
Dude, that's crazy to think that 3.6 came out over a year ago.
I know. Like that, 3.6 is when we 3.6.2 is when we got the Origin 890 jump.
Yeah.
That's insane. This, well, I mean, 2020 so far has kind of flown by.
Oh yeah. Too fast. Well, I mean, not fast enough.
For
Sorry.
me, the month of May has been very slow, but overall the year has just been very, very fast. Like April and essentially March and April didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's how fast they went. And we're doing monthly episodes here. Well, with the exception of this one, because we got one next week for all the non-Star Citizen news that we have. Because, man, that's probably why May has felt like such a long month, because there's so much crap that's happened this month.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot going on.
Like, whereas, you know, in April we had was it April? There was a lot of non-gaming, I want to say a lot of gaming news, and then in the month before there was a lot of non-gaming news. But this time around we got a lot of both, and it's enough to cover its own episode that we have to split up the Star Citizen. And I mean, it works out well because the whole free fly happened this week and all that, but still.
But yeah, I hope they at least have more events like Free Fly to get more people in the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't able. Like, look, aside glitches and crashes aside, I wasn't really going to be able to play this Free Fly anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely hope they did say they're gonna have more events because they canceled CitizenCon 2950. So. which is unfortunate, but you know that's the whole thing with the pandemic. So
Yeah.
here's the,
Anyways, I'm not sure what else there is to talk about in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Well, here's that paints and you thing that they actually here. So hi, if you want, I can just read it. Hi everyone. With the release of Alpha 391, the introduction of Invictus Launch Week, Star Citizen's Fleet Week, we're excited to introduce a number of changes to how you can make your ship your own. Many of you will likely remember our Q&A on ship customization, and we'd like to start off by confirming that our long-term goals remain the same. While you will eventually be able to visit both manufacturer and aftermarket shops in-game for a variety of customization options, we've set up a temporary system to satiate the desire to change the exterior appearance of your ship. So what does this mean exactly? All ships will come with their base skin and the ability to equip additional skins via Mobi-Glass. We'll start rolling this out with Alpha 391 for a variety of ships, with more to come. The skins are indeed swappable, meaning that once applied, they are not permanently affixed to the ship, and you'll still have the option to remove or swap skins. For Fleet Week, you'll find a bevy of skins available on the Pledge Store, and which is the website one, which is real money. And we're happy to share you'll also be able to purchase them in-game for Alpha UEC. In an upcoming patch in time, we'll continue to roll out new skins, and it's important noting that in the future we plan on making a variety of exclusive skins that are only earnable in-game for Alpha UEC. United Earth credits for anyone who doesn't know. This is important to us because it gives pilots out because it gives pilots out there making their living among the stars the opportunity to show. Okay, so pretty much, yeah, they're going to be adding more skins over the course of the next few years.
And not even just that, but yeah, they're going to make it so you're able to paint everything how you want it.
Yeah, and here's what it looks like when you're customizing Mobi-Glass. You go to the ship icon here, the vehicle loadout manager, and then just select paint. So that's nice. And here's one of the paint jobs they have, which looks a lot like the whatchamface one.
The one they put out first.
The Renegade.
The Renegade Titan.
I'm just looking for it so that people know what we're talking about right off the bat. Aegis. There it is.
I think didn't the Renegade have less space though?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Here's the interior of it. I can't remember if that's the old interior or the new interior.
No, it's a new interior.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Okay, here, this is pretty much the Renegade, so more yellow. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think looks better, honestly. Like, the Renegade paint job looks better than what they showed off in the...
Yeah, just a slight outline with the tips.
Yeah. Especially since it kind of just looks like the Renegade, but then look, like the blue there looks different than the blue here. And I get it; it's a different material, but I mean that's why I think the Renegade works more, is because it's a different material. Making this yellow helps it, but whatever. I'm just getting all nitpicky and whatever. And the ship skins are really nice, though. It's nice to have that customization option.
Yeah.
And also, if anyone was wondering why I have a screenshot that Cam took of him just standing at attention with a bunch of NPCs, a crowd of NPCs at his command, we're thinking of making a poster for a screenshot, or not screenshot contest, but a recruitment contest for, was it the UE Navy recruitment poster? So this is what we're going to be using for the base. So, just in case anyone was wondering.
And then we unleash the NPCs on the world.
I don't think you could have phrased that any better. We have an army of NPCs at our command. What are you going to do?
And have you seen the amount of glitches they have at their disposal?
God, they can go
You
inside
think-
each other.
You think physics can save you? Ha!
They stand on chairs.
Yeah, I was
We have
gonna
the
say they
power of-
stand in
we have
places you wouldn't
cult
even
power
dream
behind
of.
us. I mean, I really don't have anything else to. You guys have anything else Star Citizen related to talk about?
No. I think
Nope.
we covered everything.
I'm just gonna quickly. Oh wait, there was that thing about the jump point being a new edition of Jump Point out. Jump Point is the subscriber exclusive magazine, right? I'm just looking at that news. Yeah, we pretty much talked about Drake Defense Con. What the hell? Oh, cool. This loads up a little page there. Okay. Oh, so it's just the end of Fleet Week. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're their own little. They did their own little.
It's like we.
They weren't
part of
invited
Fleet Week.
for
It's
reasons.
ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't really cover the Origin G12. Cam, I know you had a lot to say about it. You were telling me over the course of the week.
Well, I had looked up the stats on it, so it holds a crew of 2, no matter which version you have there. The base version holds 2 SCU of cargo and has a turret on top there. The combat version has 8 size 2 missiles on there, as well as countermeasures. And the racing version has a EMP built in, and also to, I believe, armor-wise, the base version has none, combat version has heavy, and the racing version, I believe, has medium. Although I might be wrong on that. It might have been the racing version has none, and the
Let's
base
see if
version
there's
is
any difference
light.
here. See options. What does that do?
If you just scroll down, it'll,
It doesn't do anything.
yeah, just scroll down the page there, and it should
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
Hold on, scroll up a little bit.
Heavy armor
okay.
for
Yeah. And then scroll
Which one
down
is this?
to the next.
missile.
That's
launcher.
the combat.
Yeah, cover that one.
Okay, so it's not saying what armor, but yeah, EMP and
Scroll down a
racing
little bit
wheel
more.
system.
I
And
thought it
yeah,
was saying on there
scroll up is
somewhere the
the last
if you scroll
Sure.
down to the racing one. Keep going. What did it show on the what did it show on the paragraph for the racing one?
here.
Yeah. Either way.
Here.
Either way,
light frame.
armor changes between
So
them
it's
there.
probably light armor then.
So
Yeah.
that being said, in my personal opinion, the Ursa rover is still overall a better vehicle as a jack of all trades, just because you always
the
have the
prices.
option for either 4 additional crew on top of the Ursa rover's 2 in the cockpit. If you don't have people in the 4 seats in the back, you can have 4 SCU back there, as well as it has a turret as well. So, that being said, so if you are looking for a ground-based EMP, sure, the G12 Racing one is the one to go. If you are trying to take out ships on the ground there, of course, you're going to want to be real careful on how big of a fight you're picking off there. But combat version would definitely be good for that. Obviously, for
I'd
anything
say
bigger.
if in terms of like assuming you can't get your hands on a ballista because that's pretty much
Yeah,
the
exactly.
ultimate air-to-ground missile defense system.
Yep.
I would say the G12 is probably a better option, especially compared to the only other option.
The Cyclone, yeah.
Yeah, the Cyclone AA. Which
At
is,
least until the Nova comes out.
I don't have access. That's the one Cyclone I don't have access to.
No,
I
the Nova
have
tank.
the what?
I said at least until the Nova, the tank.
Right, but
comes
we
out.
don't know how that's going to handle at least the 3.
Correct.
At least this one we can make educated guesses on, considering how we know the type of missiles it's going to be using, and we know the Cyclone has 4 sized 1s.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure offhand.
Freaking on the website, let me check.
But I don't know. I don't really. The design looks kind of weird to me. I don't really like it that much.
I mean, I'm not a big.
Yeah.
I mean, Origin's cool and all, but I agree.
Definitely a bit odd they went with that kind of design there, but.
I'm surprised they went with a wheeled vehicle at all. Honestly, like I'm kind of.
Yeah.
I know. I say like we should get more ground vehicles, and I welcome this, but I don't know. I want more like hover non-bike vehicles.
So the Cyclone A has 2 missiles, 2 size 2s.
4. It is 4. 4 size 2s.
Yeah.
Okay, so size 2s.
I believe so.
Yeah, they're size 2s.
Okay, so and the combat one here has
8.
more.
It said now in the picture it shows 4, but in the documentation it says 8.
Where am I? Okay, here it is. Okay, so yeah. This doesn't help.
Although it does, it also says it has countermeasures as well.
Yes.
So,
which means that, if someone's targeting you, you can deploy countermeasures. Which you wouldn't think it's make a difference, but it does. It does make somewhat of a difference.
So the G12A.
So Tumbro. Oh, right there.
The G12A has 8 size 2s.
Yep.
8 size 2s versus 2 size 2s or 4 size 2s?
4 size 2s, yeah.
Okay, so that's still a bet. That's definitely better. So you're better off with that compared to the Cyclone variant, especially since the armor's definitely tougher than a Cyclone. It's fully enclosed, so you definitely have more protection. So when you're comparing the Cyclone AA versus the Origin G12A, I'd say Origin G12A, but if you're going for I need multiple, essentially I need an APC, Ursa Rover unfortunately is better. And I say unfortunately because the Ursa Rover is not that well armored.
No, it's really not. Then again, though, I'm pretty sure the Ursa is going to need a pretty good makeover there, just because, among many things, one, the cockpit itself is not big enough, because if you notice, as soon as you get out of the chair, you're glitching in the door, because there is not enough space to stand there with that door closed. The back of it cannot hold 4 SCU there. It is not big enough for that, even with all those seats up. Or no, even with the chairs folded up, it's only the space of about maybe 3 people abreast. And if you compare that to, say, the Pisces, with it 2 SCU there, with one of those 2 SCU spaces, which means you would need essentially double that space because it has 4 SCU space back there, and the Ursa supposed to. With that, you can fit about 2 people side by side in one of those 2 SCU spaces, and then lengthwise, not too big of a worry there, I don't think. But even still, we're just assuming that you take up that whole back of the Ursa with cargo. That thing could only hold as is about 2 SCU, so you would need to go and widen that out a bit. So that's going to be a problem in the future here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they're either going to have to change on with their site. It's a lot of the SCU capacity is not very true to the size of the The
Yeah,
cargo.
and the whole point of it is it's a standardized cargo unit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the point.
Yeah.
So
So they
that's
definitely
going to be a
right about
problem
that.
come the future.
Also, hey, look, they got the Holo viewer working on the Nova. Look at that.
Yep.
Oops.
Just ready to go and fuck someone's day up.
Yeah, that. Ooh, 2 barrels.
What was that? Size 7, right?
Sincerely hope so. It's a freaking
The main
Drop
gun on
that.
that thing?
better have some pretty good firepower. Ooh, and it's got missiles too.
It's a size 2 here.
Well, I cannot scroll.
I'll
I have
tell
to
you.
Exit the viewer.
Yeah,
mode, so-
I'll tell you just a second.
And you got 2 guns here on the top of the turret. You got 2 little turrets here. But it look like size 1s to me, but I could be wrong.
Doesn't.
I mean, maybe
It
size
could be
2s based on the
2s,
size.
Actually, based on the size. The tank is giant. Like, it's actually huge even for a tank.
So as a size 4. Wait just a second.
Whoa. This makes me curious as to how much of this is done.
Well, and then again, though, making an exterior is one thing. Piping everything up, because bear in mind there's all that internal
you can see the
stuff.
interior of it as well.
Yeah.
It's not
But,
like, you know, back in the...
Well, what I mean is, visual is one thing. Putting in all of the, because bear in mind they're saying they're putting in all the piping and shit for the future stuff, so that alone takes a shit ton.
So yeah, it's going to be a size 4 ballistic cannon.
Only a size 4?
Size 4?
That's what it says on the site right now.
Huh.
TBC ballistic cannon size 4.
Oh well.
I mean, maybe, honestly, I'd probably see that being a custom weapon, though, similar to the Ares, in that it's not swappable, so it might have some additional properties to it that other weapons do not.
Yeah.
I was expecting something to be able to go, because that would mean it's essentially the same size as one of the Constellation's main guns.
Yeah.
I thought this thing was going to be like, you know, seeing like, oh, hey, there's a Vanguard, blam, blam, it's dead. You know, but then again, I do suppose it's like the thought of a tank going up against, well, another tank.
Yeah, there's also the 2 size 2 energy repeaters there, too.
Yeah. So I mean,
which
definitely
would be helpful.
fearsome,
Like you
but-
use those, and then you know, those are 2 size 4s, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that?
I think there's 2 barrels.
It does have 2 barrels. Well, the question is if it's 2 weapons side by side, if it's one
or
weapon.
if it's one weapon with 2 barrels, like the attritions or something.
Yeah. So.
Let's find out. This doesn't help me.
Either way, we'll see.
Looks really cool, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess.
It is a nice looking tank. Although there is a bit of a glitch there with the treads, but like the treads kind of clip in there.
Yeah, it'll all be interesting to see how they do. So see how they deal with the whether or not they changed the ships largely in game, which I don't think they do. I think they're just going to change the specifications on their website. They just need to update them.
Yeah, that's what I'm betting they're gonna do too, unfortunately.
Yeah, which I mean, I imagine if for some of them they're going to have to change them because if they sold them on quite a bit larger, you know, but
Yeah, then they start being unable to fit them into ships there, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
it is still a bit of a disappointment. I was like, hey, it has this. Oopsie, it doesn't have this.
It doesn't have
Yeah,
this.
like for example, the Cyclone's supposed to have thrusters that help it when it turns on its side. Yet where are they?
Well, I mean that's more just functionality, but like with the Ursa, like I said, if nothing else, they're going to have to do a major adjustment just to fix the cockpit, because as it is, no NPC could use that. because there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
space for them to get out. Among other
No,
things
you're
too,
right.
and I do remember also hearing issues with in general. There's issues where if you have two seats that use the same space for them to get out of, because that means that you can only have one person getting out at a time. That can also lead to lots of issues, and that's exactly how the cockpit is set up. So that entire cockpit needs to be redesigned there. Um, so that's just going to lead to a lot of problems.
And then
Yeah.
like
Now
So
that being
here's the Ursa
said,
rover, but in green, because
yeah.
that was for the St. Patrick's Day.
That being said, one thought that did just pop into mind is for them to go and remove the door, because realistically, you don't really need a door there. In the cockpit. But you could go and remove that door, buff out the sides a bit, so you wouldn't really need to increase the actual space of it for the cockpit fix
yeah.
anyway. Bump out the sides a bit, and then have the chairs for the cockpit go. And so at this point, the entire interior is a single space. And the chairs would just rotate 180, and then you get
Yeah.
out and in directly from
You
the
could
back
have
of
them
them.
I was
rotate
gonna say
90 degrees.
if they almost had the functionality of what the if you've seen the Avenger, if you get into
Yeah.
that, it
Yeah,
spins,
exactly.
it almost
Exactly.
moves it back a little bit, or I guess it spins around and then it moves you into the seat, right? It moves
Right.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That way, then you aren't getting out into the same space, no matter who's getting out at what time, even if you're both getting out at the same time. I think that might be able to go and fix that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the cargo, I would probably bet based on that the size there, I'd bet that what they'll probably do is reduce it down to 2 SCU.
Which
Because
is
I do think 2SU could fit in there, but still a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people actually use it for cargo, honestly?
Well, I mean, bear in mind though that vehicle one, it's being sold as the exploration rover, a la the Carrack, because they said we aren't going to make a separate exploration rover for now.
Which
We'll
I
see.
really hope they do, because I just started flipping through the images here on the Ursa rover page, and remember this concept art?
Oh,
the other
yeah.
thing too is you have to
Oh, yeah.
remember if you
And
like
this one, everyone thought this was going to be the Anvil one.
Yep.
But yeah, I was gonna say the other thing too is if you have to assume once the game gets released, you're no longer able to buy ships with money, right? So
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
gonna be trapped on a planet for a while before they can just buy a ship. So if they're using a rover or something, unless they go into a crew, of course, but
Well, everyone
Well,
starts with a starter ship. You know, either
Yeah.
the Aurora or
Well,
Yeah, well, I mean,
whatever
you'll
they
also
call
be able
it.
to just be crewman on a ship, but
Yeah.
that all aside too, for like exploration. Hey, let's say for example, there's a cave. I can't go and fly my ship in the cave; it's too small. Okay, but I can go and get my Ursa rover in there. It's big enough for that. And in this cave, there's stuff, whether it's parts, it's a
mining.
pirate base, whether it's resources I've mined, whatever. I need to go and get them back to my ship. If I only have 2 SU, how much is that really getting me? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Is it worth it?
So that alone, and like I said, now that being said, to be honest, despite what CIG have said, I fully expect there to be an exploration rover put out. Now, will they go and change what rover the Carrot comes with if they do make a dedicated exploration rover? I don't know. I would hope so, but we'll see. But I can also all but guarantee, based on the downsizing of the Carrack, I would heavily, heavily, heavily assume down the line. Now they'll wait a couple of years to do it, but I can almost guarantee that we're going to see a actual capital ship exploration ship come out, because they nerfed the Carrack from being a capital ship to being a mini wannabe capital. They're going to make a capital ship that's an exploration ship. It's going to fucking happen. And they'll make all kinds of excuses from it for the Carrack owners. Well, yeah, reasons, but I can all but guarantee it'll happen.
And those reasons will be we wanted to charge more.
Well, and what sucks too is the only reason, or at least the only reason they told us for the Carrack being nerfed in size is for it to fit in more landing pads.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but it has a shuttle and it has a rover. It has no need to fit
Yeah, it
in
has a
every landing pad.
parasitic-
It has a waycraft to do that. Like the
Yeah.
Enterprise isn't always going and landing at wherever
Yeah.
fucking place they go.
was
They
gonna
take
say-
a shuttle.
A capital ship doesn't need to be able to land somewhere. It needs to be able to have something that can land there, but it doesn't need to
Exactly.
itself.
Yeah.
So there was no reason in my mind
Yeah.
for that, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope they start developing. I mean, I guess at the same time, it would be nice if they got some bigger gameplay loops in before they started developing the capital ships too much. But it'd be nice to see a player driven one eventually.
Yeah. Also, I just I saw the videos in the background after that teaser just played, and reminded me. I just watched gameplay recently of the Prison Break. Not the Prison Transport mission that the criminals can do, because I don't plan on doing it because I don't want to be a criminal. But I saw gameplay of someone doing it, and I didn't realize that you have to actually find the ship manifest, and then find the prisoner number, and then revive them from the cryopod.
Huh.
Yeah, and I mean stuff like that. It's definitely a good sign that they're moving into, but I just want to see more stuff like that because, like I said, we've been seeing multi-stage missions pretty much ever since 3.0 was being teased. With that sitcom stuff, and just we still don't have anything really like those missions yet.
I still think the best multi-phase mission we have are some of the mission giver stuff, like Clovis Darnley and Twitch, really, to be precise. Like the one that has you going to the drug den to get her the maze and bring it back to her, or the Clovis Darnley.
But even then, that's not really
find the satellite
multi-stage.
crash, navigate the satellite.
Yeah, that's really the only thing we have that's
my favorite
multi-stage.
one because it's the most elaborate, I guess. And
but even then, it's I go to satellite, I go to bunker. That's it. Like there's nothing. There's nothing more convoluted.
Like as much fun as I enjoy the 890 jump missions, because you can constantly do them by yourself and loot all the guns afterwards and end up with 250 SMGs. But as much fun as they are, like we need something. I need more than just kill guys.
Well, yeah. That's why I was saying.
Also, if you're just gonna give me kill guys, you need to make it more challenging.
Engaging.
I don't mean like make the guys hard, like better shots. I mean make it like either make it where
it needs to be more interesting, rather.
Yeah, like for 20 guys, like for like a single, like that's a good amount of people. Because I've been complaining for a while. Like really, all the FPS missions are like 8 guys maximum. Like in the bunkers, it's like you're killing 8 people or 6 people or 4 people. It's not. Like, we need more. We need more cannon fodder to shoot at. To be honest, if we're fighting NPCs. And 20 people is a good minimum, I would say.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say that.
I know the tech limitations and all that now, but later on, we need more NPCs to shoot at a time, and we also need more to do. Like the hack mission is great and all, but the timer, the fact that there's a timer, and you're navigating the people shooting at you, and you don't know where it is, and the guys are insta shots, like. Either make the timer longer, or maybe have it be like, because for starters, with the exception of the bridge, there's almost no one guarding the hack most of the time.
Yeah.
Like have the hack being guarded, or something like that. Like you have to add I don't know, like that's why I like the Clovis Star Neely one, because you have to go to the crashed satellite, retrieve the data blade. If it's not there, you have to go reboot the satellite so that you can track it. Then once you do have it, you have to bring it to a bunker which has NPCs in it. You have to kill them, then go to the server room, and then hack the data blade. And it's like that's a good mission. It's well structured. It's well thought out. There are contingencies. There's different ways to go about it. There's a there used to be a counter mission, at least. I don't know if there still is. And that's why I like the Twitch one, because there is a counter mission to it. You know, like, it's a simple mission, you know, just retrieve package and deliver. But there's a counter mission which adds difficulty. Plus there's then I can either just give her that one drug, or I can just take all of these drugs and sell them elsewhere and make a ton more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it gives you that option. So
yeah, I'm definitely more in favor of, instead of just doing quests, but introducing things where it can be player-driven gameplay loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, trading and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, as we were talking about earlier, like, for example, this player, like, I'll pay you this to kill this random guy. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, I'll pay you to guard me. I'll pay you to go.
I need a bodyguard, you know.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
Like, yeah, you can technically do it with the beacon system in place right now, but you can't really. It doesn't work a lot of the time, and it's such a, like, you have to hit it just as they send it, otherwise someone else might get it because it broadcasts to everyone. Like, the beacon's supposed to be in case of emergency type of thing. Like, that's the whole point. Like, that's what the ECA, right? Why am I blanking? The what?
Sorry, what were you going to say?
The ECR missions? ER, right? Why am I blanking?
Yeah, I think they're ECM.
The what?
ECM?
The
combo?
Yeah.
No, the mission type, where I'm completely blanking on. I don't know why I'm just completely blanking on it.
I think they're ECM.
ECM alert? Yeah, ECM alerts.
Yeah.
Like, those missions, that's what the beacons are, like, supposed to be, but player versions. Like, they're not supposed to be just like, oh no, like, I need this, I need that. Like, it's supposed to be you're trapped, you have nothing else to do. Like, you have nothing else that you can do for yourself. Whereas player trading and credit trading would be great, because then you can, you know, exactly create missions yourself.
But yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably good to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's plug the sponsor. And this, so this episode of, I guess, Star Season special of Cast in the Shadows is sponsored by Iron Chef. Buy some Iron Chef products. It helps our show.
Or else.
Well, it will help us. Help them so they can help us. That's pretty much...
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's good food. You don't want food?
Well, have you tried it?
Have I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got some of their teriyaki stuff this week. It's
Okay.
actually really good. Not the panko, the sauce. The teriyaki sauce, I used it for grilling, and it was really good. So I can actually say, hey, I tasted it. It's actually really good. Try it.
It didn't kill me.
He is still talking to us today.
Yes, I am. Or am I?
But yeah, I can't speak to the taste, but it's definitely would be very, very nice to support us.
Here, this is the stuff I tried. This is great. This is really good stuff. And also, they have gluten-free if that's a problem. So,
But do they have free gluten?
I mean, if you get the gluten I guess is free in the gluten.
Yeah, you're probably not paying any more for the gluten one, so it is free gluten.
Yeah. mean, they don't. Keep in mind, they don't sell off the site here. I just use the site so that you can see like their full inventory. But they sell. They're at Walmart. They're on Amazon. You can order from there. You can get it. You can get it pretty much anywhere. Like I think Key Food has it if you have a Key Food near you. I don't know about CVS. They used to have it at Costco, but Costco stopped buying from them, is what I'm told. But I mean, they're at Walmart. They're on Amazon, so you can order. You can order these things by like the bucket load. You can order giant jugs of them if you want. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check now. Oops. I can't type. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you can order these things. Yep, here. Oh, that's I think a knockoff, but you can order these giant glass jars. So yeah, they're on Amazon. So yeah, help support them so they can support the show. If you want to support us, please get some Iron Chef sauce or panko or whatever you want. It's great for grilling, for marinating. If you do that, you can have it plain and do what you want. I don't care. I don't judge. You do you.
Yeah. It's just the easiest way to support us with still giving something new.
Especially since we're not monetized on YouTube, so or Twitch for that matter. And yeah, it helps you too, so yeah, so I guess that's it for the show. Next week we're doing next weekend, June 6th, same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is just going to be, I guess, I want to say like part 2 of episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4, part 2. It's gonna be.
So this would be episode 4.1. So that's gonna be episode 4.2.
It's just gonna be stuff that's non-Star Citizen.
So just gaming, and then like all the
general news and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of.
And then
we got follow-up news on Doom and Doom Eternal. We got Cyberpunk news. We got news about people getting arrested for cosplaying. Details later in next week's episode. Yeah, lots of good and bad news alike. So anyway, everyone take care. Hope you're all staying safe and being well during this hard time. Hopefully, hopefully this isn't. Yeah, don't die. Hopefully this isn't impacting everyone and your livelihood that harshly. And I guess we'll catch you next week, or next weekend. So
peace.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And meantime, this is Cast in the Shadows signing off.